Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 393. Got a pretty good panel tonight. Pretty excited. We might have another guest pop in halfway through as well, but I wanted to shake it up, get some guests coming by, and we're going to start with actually someone who has not been on the show before. It's good to have him for the first time. That is Jack Move John.
What's good? What's good?
On here because we had some PlayStation announcements. Had Naughty Dog show up. The Game Awards. We actually had some cool stuff happening there too, not just aside from that. So wanted to bring you in for some of that, see what your thoughts are as we go through.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all for having me.
To have Jack here. We got Gene Park. Always happy to have Gene here.
Thanks for having me back, John. Nice to always be back as part to ride the wave, you know.
Got Celia's the celebrity status now, but she still has time to stop by and hang out with the little people, peasants here.
Oh my gosh, guys. I'm going to let it go completely to my head. No, I'm kidding. I'm happy to be here. I'm really tired, so I might ramble a bit, but excited to go over the Game Awards stuff.
Yeah, you were out late last night, so she still came by, hang out with us.
I know. I didn't expect you to see you here. It's great. It's a trooper.
We got this motherfucker.
Yeah. We got Sean RGT 85, who actually he finished a game, a game that came out this year. That's at least two, right? Number 2, 2024 or 2024 releases, right? Because you did Astrobot as well.
And I did Star Wars Outlaws.
I still can't believe that, but yes,
there's other games. There's other games too. I just beat Resident Evil 2, Leon A on N64. Now I'm on Claire B.
But you beat Indiana Jones.
Yes, the credits are literally rolling, and I paused it to be on this show.
Hoping for that after credits scene.
Yeah, I want to see. Well, I mean, yeah. I want to see kind of how if it lets me. I'm assuming it lets me go back and do some of the side missions, so I want to see that too.
Oh, that's
okay.
Cool.
I'm coming back to you for your thoughts on that then, since you wrapped up. So we got Evan, of course, here as well.
Yep.
Shout out to Evan. Gonna need your input on the Witcher stuff because I'm not the Witcher guy, but Evan plays the Witcher series, familiar. We'll get a take on that as well. But of course, if you'd like to support this show as well as any of the others, check out spawncastnetwork.com or patreon.com/spawncast. We have the mailbag over there, all kinds of community interaction and stuff. So make sure you check that one out there. And I figured today we'd be going over mostly the Game Awards since that was the big topic. There were like 40 some odd games that were shown there, so there's no shortage of content technically. And I wrote it all down. We also have all the winners. It's all there. So I got a lot we can go over. But then there's just a lot of discussion around some of the big titles too, since we did finally get Naughty Dog to show up with something that wasn't a remaster. So there's a lot of thoughts on that too online. So this will be interesting. But thanks to everyone showing up here in the chat. Oh, there's Venom said, "Yo, it's Jack Move."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, this is live.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. We
were recorded too until like a few minutes
we are
ago.
Live,
like, shit.
We are live. We're doing it live. Astrobot was a surprise for Game of the Year.
What's up, chat? How's it going?
That was a good Game Awards. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are live.
All right. Well, I'll tweet it out right now too.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we're just hanging out. It's like it ends up being a very informal show as we go along. So, but I did have a few questions though that I wanted to bring up as we went along here. Sean, we touched on Indiana Jones very briefly last time because it was still pretty fresh. And we played a couple hours here and there. We're just giving some immediate thoughts. But now you've actually beaten the game, and I already know it's good because 1, you've commented on it, but 2, you've already beaten it. Yeah. So like. It was one of those games you obviously didn't put down much. So what did you think of Indiana Jones overall without any major spoilers for people? Because remember, some people are still waiting for it to come out on the PlayStation 5 in a few months. So.
Yeah. Well, that was one thing I brought up on Twitter today because like I was doing some of the things and it was like basic story things and it was like ultra rare achievement. 1.75% of people have completed this. And I was like, what?
Oh man.
Like
I noticed that too.
Like, what are we doing? Like, it's like, I'm not the biggest Indiana Jones fan in the world. I watched the movies, a couple of times. I like the little kid. He was kind of funny. I liked the experience at Universal Studios. I don't know if they still have it, but you can watch the episode of Full House where DJ thinks that Steve is Indiana Jones because she's like tripping hard on him, but it wasn't. To get how that was. But yeah, like I've always kind of liked the video games. You know, I like the N64 game. I like Staff Kings. I thought that was a pretty decent game. But this really surprised me, man. Like it doesn't, you know, it's bad to say, but it doesn't feel like a Game Pass game. Like it is a complete big budget AAA product that really is a lot of fun. Like it's a great adventure game. That part that you were talking about, that was the coolest part of the game. I say no. I say there's something cooler that happens
coming up.
Yeah, that I thought was a little bit cooler. A lot of just, oh wow, holy shit moments in the game. Like, man, like that it's a fucking shame that we do the Game Awards in December, because this would have been a Game of the Year contender. Point blank.
I haven't beaten it. I'm decent amount into it as I'm going, and I would agree. I think this would be one that I would have. I mean, you can easily pull off the DLC off of the nominees. I think most people can probably replace that with a game. But honestly, even if we didn't have that there, I probably would have played something else with Indiana Jones. It is like super high quality.
Yeah, and like it's a deceptively long game. Like when you think of side missions, you usually think of just kind of like rinky dink stuff. No, some of these side missions, you're like fucking going into like caves that you would have never found and like noticed before. There's mysteries, there's discoveries, there's all sorts of crazy stuff. I know Nate's been playing for like what, 15 hours or so.
Too long. He's at the Vatican too long.
He's still at the Vatican, which is the first portion of the game, because there's so much stuff to do. I kind of wanted to see how things would play out under the pretense that hopefully I can go back. If not, you know, whatever, I'll make a clean save file. But nah, man, it's got a ton of content, and I get it. You know, some people, it's not their style of game or whatever, but if you are even mildly interested in it, it is a great game. Whether you play it on PC, whether you play it on PS5 when it comes out, whether you play it on Xbox, it's worth playing. Like I enjoyed this way more than I thought I was going to. And my expectations, if you followed my channel, this was one of the games that I was really looking forward to. I expected to at least be let down in some regards, but I don't feel like I ever was. Like, I'm just a negative person. Like,
I know. I like to go into it like this thing's probably going to disappoint me, but all right.
What is a prior game that is a best reference point? I mean,
I would say
Chronicles of Riddick, but a lot of people never played that. Can you think of something more modern?
Butcher Bay, Chronicles of Riddick, or you can even say Dishonor, but the way they do some of the first person, like they always try to remind you that you're in first person.
But see, I don't like Dishonored.
Yeah, I also, Sean, I also don't like Dishonored. Holy shit!
Y'all bugging.
No, I remember.
I've never met someone else who doesn't like Dishonored, bro. Holy shit!
I remember one time when GameStop first started doing retro stuff in like 2016. I ordered a copy of Resident Evil 2 on the GameCube because it was CIB and it was cheap. And they sent me a copy of Dishonored 2. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And like, I didn't feel like dicking around because Dishonored at that time, it was newer. So it was actually worth about the same. And I was like, well, I'll try it out. And I could not get into it, dude. Like it was just not my cup of tea. But I mean, you could even say to some degree, like a first person stealthier Uncharted, as cliche as that is, because Uncharted obviously takes a lot of inspiration from Indiana Jones, but there's just like the amount of like wow moments that happen in the game are really good. They're really good. And you know, it is a little bit over the top, but in the same breath, I do understand why people are hesitant towards this game. You know, when you look at Disney games, Disney as a company right now, you know, there's a lot of questionable things that a lot of people don't like. So you would be, you know, it was kind of like an X-Men 97 thing. You got to look at it with a stank eye. But when a company hits a home run, people need to support that shit, because then you don't get the other garbage like Star Wars Outlaws that nobody wanted, that doesn't feel like a Star Wars game. Whereas this is like, you're Indiana Jones. You got the song, different renditions of the song playing, big action moments. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Maybe you should go revisit Dishonored now after playing Indiana Jones.
I gotta finish Infernal Machine. Yeah, why not? It's a good game.
Well, I the thing you mentioned though with the achievement stuff, that did hit, like it did hurt me every time when you do something that's storyline related. It's not even like, oh, you found this tomb and you just happen to go down there and you complete an achievement. You're going through some of the you're going through stuff that's you can't miss, and it comes up and it's like 1.85% for the achievement, and I'm like, man, I'm 3 hours in. How is this possible?
Well, even if you look at Steam metrics, like there's not a lot of people playing it on Steam. Like the concurrent player base is small. Like I don't know, man. It's a shame because I think it's a really well done game, and it's probably out of everything I played, I'd say it was my favorite of this year.
Here's why I think no one's playing Indiana Jones. There's no story to wait to be eagerly watch. You know, Indiana Jones is going to be alive at the end, so
that's true. And really, like the character Indiana Jones, like is he really relevant in stuff? Like I feel like, you know, Star Wars always has shit going on, whether you like it or not. You know, they got side stories, different TV shows, this, that, and the other. When it's like Indiana Jones had like a shitty movie release a couple of years ago, and like that was
the IP is one man, and we saw that one man on stage last night barely understand what was going on around him. You know, the IP is one man. This is not James Bond, where James Bond is a different person, or Batman gets to be different actors or different people or anything like that, or it can be reinterpreted. Indiana Jones is just one dude from the 1930s that's still around now. Yeah.
Well, I recommend the game. I mean, if you have Game Pass, it's a
like
no-brainer. Like, go download it and play it. So get those achievement percentages up. Come on, Indiana Jones deserves it.
It's a ride. It's a ride, and it takes you places and does things that maybe you didn't necessarily expect it to do. And there's a lot of content to it.
I would recommend it even like for the 70, like when it goes to PS5 for people who are just interested in it, or like Indiana Jones. I think that's a no-brainer too. If you already like the source material.
I wonder if they'll do anything with PS5 Pro, because the Xbox version doesn't have any ray tracing, right?
Now that they added ray tracing as a patch for PC, I bet the PS5 Pro gets some additional features, and like I'm sure they'll take advantage of it. So it'll just probably look like if you check it out on PC with a good video card, it's actually extremely clean. Like it looks like
according to Digital Foundry, Indiana Jones on Xbox Series X is on settings lower than the lowest settings on PC.
Yeah, so it looks really clean on PC. I assume it'll look really clean on the PS5 Pro with PSSR and stuff. So we'll see. It's not for probably another 6 months, maybe 5 months. So got until spring for that. And so I did want to bring this up specifically because I've seen some of the discussion around Sony's live service push. We had Ben Studio with an artist portfolio and some of the images that they were working on seemingly around that time when Ben was talking about their new IP that they were creating. And it does look like some of the images are sort of referencing the idea of a third-person military live shooter style game or online multiplayer game, because it has the tropes of wardrobe and stuff like that in like a hub world setting almost, you know, like a home base, a headquarters. And so now people are looking at Bend as, okay, is this is going to be a live service style game. And we've seen some of the misses and then the hits, right? Helldivers 2, but then Concord in the same year. So I was trying to get the temperature here. Are you disappointed at the idea that Ben would be doing maybe a live service game? New IP, by the way. They've already kind of said that. So don't expect SOCOM to flash up on screen at the end. But are you disappointed, or would you rather have them done just a full single player game after Days Gone?
I'm me personally. I feel like I'm disappointed. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. And even though it's not SOCOM, we already know this is gonna be a pseudo SOCOM. It's trying to attract that fan base. But I feel like Sony already had they could have made a service-based game that was a tactical team-based shooter that they canceled. Factions 2. That's all we needed. We needed Factions 2. Also, I remember when Days Gone was coming out, I think it was like the World War Z devs. They were saying like they went to Sony and offered to put an online on Days Gone, and they declined it. And me personally, we got rumors of a Days Gone remastered, right? Which is also asinine. So why not Days Gone 2? It's so well. They just said it took too long to develop and then they get the ratings that they wanted. But they got the know-how. They got the assets. I think they should give Days Gone another shot. they could put a little online on that, make their service based or whatnot. But I'm disappointed. I'm not really into like the military style. Like that ain't never really been my bag for real. So I'd rather just see them do Days Gone 2 again. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
Yeah, when I saw it, I thought Outriders is actually what came to mind when I saw some of the
Oh,
concept.
Oh,
Or yeah, I know. It's like it's kind of like Outriders, kind of, and like, oh wait, is that good?
oh man.
I see. I just try to look it up, and it seems like Sony's DMCAing the images that are out there.
Oh no.
So I didn't.
Time to blur
I
some
missed
video.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the video.
Oh no.
I'm about to go John Garvin in this place and just complain about Ben's studio.
I mean, it is kind of weird.
Maybe
That,
Garvin was right after all. Who knows? I don't know.
it is kind of weird that we still never got a SOCOM since PS3. Like I get
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, at least like is SOCOM a worse idea than Concord? Like, if you looked at those two games,
No.
like, would
No,
you have
not
been
at
like, I think Concord will be more successful? I feel like most people would have picked SOCOM, and not to say that SOCOM would light the world on fire or anything like that. Maybe it was a bit of a product of its times as well. I don't know. I always enjoyed those.
I guess they have to come up with somebody to make it too, because Zipper's not around anymore. So I mean, I feel like they have somebody who could at least attempt it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's
Ben's going to do a
military
third-person
shooter.
military shooter. It's like they're already there almost.
Yeah, and since it's a military shooter, you don't really have to think that hard, I guess, about it. You could probably throw it to almost any company.
I mean, the thing about SOCOM is that it was like a more tactical shooter, right? So like that they could just fill that space that Rainbow Six Siege only occupies, and even that's like way more action packed. So like, just make what happened to what happened to Rogue Spear? You know, Rainbow Six Rogue Spear. I miss that shit. You know, bring that shit
Slow
back.
tactical is niche, beyond niche. Like there are games that do it, and then everyone complains that they're not immediately getting back up for a respawn. They're not right back into the fight. Like it doesn't achieve the numbers I think they want, which comes from the breakneck speed. Oh, you died. Now you're over here. Shoot that guy, and it's just go.
But
And
Siege did incredible.
yeah, Siege did well, and it's doing weird now. There are
It's doing
people
weird
who are
now, yeah.
criticizing like how they're going forward with it.
But even just
I
from a
can't believe that game's
longevity,
still around.
Yes.
yeah, like
They,
Overall, it did pretty well. Yeah. Like,
no, yeah.
you could have just had that with SOCOM too. You know. But
We
yeah, I
we
mean,
get
Chuck,
Rainbow
might
Six
be
games
right.
every year.
Gamers today might be too stupid for SOCOM too. So who knows? So,
Well,
Absolutely.
like, where are my skins? Where's my Spider-Man skin?
yeah, where's my Nicki
Sony?
Minaj skin in my SOCOM? You know,
Fireworks to go off every time I get a kill. Be great.
yeah. Where's my anime girl that comes out of my fucking gun now? You know?
I have. We did have a report. I think this is from Jason Schreier again at Bloomberg for GTA 6. I mean, it's GTA 6, so if any movement happens, it's a big deal. But I looked at the report and I feel like it's just information we already had. But I figured I would put it up here anyway because Schreier seems apprehensive to say that it's coming out next year. He seems to think there's a good chance it's going to fall to 2026. Is anyone shocked at the idea that GTA 6 is going to fall to 2026?
No.
Nope.
I don't think so. Is anyone concerned about? There was another thing as he reiterated from 2022 when he originally had reported that they were advising or even leaning on the writers to not punch down as much to different groups of people. Is anyone concerned that there is going to be toning down in this game?
Look, I take that as them trying to be a little bit more serious, in line with like how Red Dead was a seriously written story, as opposed to GTA 5, which was like half of a clown show, and then like most of like
comical
GTA,
at times, yeah. But,
yeah, and San Andreas, yeah, topical at times, but like, you know, you still blow like people's heads off in there and in very funny ways, you know, in GTA 5, and it's like maybe they might tone that down a little bit to just make it a grittier, realistic crime story. That's how I interpret it as, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in a perfect world, that's what it means. You know, like because like I said, we talked about this last week, didn't we? When it was just me and you. GTA 5 is kind of an anomaly when you look at stories for GTA games.
Mm-hmm.
Like compare that to GTA 4, which is much more rooted in reality. So, you know, hopefully it doesn't go too far. Like, obviously, the best sort of comedy is when everyone laughing at each other. You know, obviously it's a little tougher nowadays with some things, but you know, I wait and see approach. Like that's what you got to do with things nowadays, because you know things surprise people either in a good surprise or a bad surprise. But you can't just like, I'm not going to write the game off. If somebody wants to go ahead, be my guest, but you know, we'll see.
Mhm.
My thing is this though: has GTA got some wild shit in it, right? We not denying that, but has it ever just been some stuff where you like, oh my god, I can't believe they like said this? Like,
Well,
to me, it's always been an equal opportunity offender, right? And the
Right.
whole point of GTA is a satire on American culture and just, you know. So I think they don't really need to change nothing. You know what I mean? I feel like it has never been that. I mean, then you know I got a sick sense of humor too, so maybe it is some offensive stuff in there. But I never thought it was nothing to where I'm like, oh my god, I can't show my, you know what I mean? Like, it's jokes,
usually
bro.
full level heinous was always Saints Row. Like that was the cartoon
exactly.
level of that.
That's right. Yeah, Saints Row was a little bit more heinous, where you like actually just murder people that probably didn't deserve it. Versus, well, I mean, like
With-
Trevor murdered
with
a bunch of
5
people
foot long
that didn't deserve
dildos
it, but, you
attached
know.
to, yeah, like it's
Hey, we're paying off our student loans last time. Silly, were you trying to say something?
Oh
my
yeah.
God,
I
Saints
just
Row
wanted
4.
to. I just wanted to jump in
Five.
and like agree with Jack's point. Just in general, like GTA in general has set that tone where, you know, it's gonna be like there's a lot of violence and there's a lot of crude things that happen in there. But since that's been the standard, it's not like it's a kid's game and then out of nowhere like a gun pops out. Like it's, you know, it's for mature audiences. It's like South Park. Like, are we ever offended that South Park? Oh, actually, people do get offended.
People
about
do
South
get
Park. That's a
offended.
bad
People get
point.
offended all the time.
But they shouldn't, because it's equal opportunities fucked up, and that's just kind of
Mhm.
just, you know, the standard for it. I think we'd be more offended if it was like really PC, because that just would take the soul out of
Oh,
GTA.
yeah. Oh yes, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, if we go in there and we see a second trailer and it's like teen rated, then I'm like, okay, hold on a minute, what's going on?
Or-
here,
or
right?
if
Then
it's-
we riot.
But, like,
GTA,
Yeah.
the Veil Guard, you know.
yeah, oh no,
Oh my god.
And everyone was like, "I'm gonna rob you right now." It's like, wait, my feelings though. I don't know how I feel about you,
Oh
but
my
you
God.
robbing me right now. You know, can we talk about this?
rated E
Yeah.
for
I gotta go to
everyone.
jail. Just do some push-ups. It's all right. Sean's right. Wait and see approach, but you know, keep it in mind. I don't think we'd really be able to tell anyway, because it's gonna be bombastic. I'm sure at times they're going to Florida. Like it's so
Going to
easy
Miami.
yeah, it's so easy like to put that together, and they already kind of did. I looked at that trailer and I don't go, wow, they're toning stuff down. Like when I just see that initial trailer, it looks as ridiculous as you expect them to go to Vice.
It's pretty
so.
unhinged. So you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. So I think they'll have some fun with that. But we got to see. Where's the trailer? Like,
Hmm.
what's
You
going
didn't
on?
expect it at the Game Awards, did you? Would you expect
No.
you to be there as
They're not
well?
giving Jeff
Yeah,
that.
they'll drop it on their own time.
You think the next trailer gonna have a release date though, huh? Probably.
Ooh.
Mm.
Hey, that's a good question, because
I don't think so.
they seem so confident it's coming out fall 2025. Like they
Yeah.
reiterated again to investors recently. I feel like just the next one is just still going to be like 2025 or something at the end, but gotta start thinking about that, because apparently other publishers are looking at this like, oh, when's this coming out, so we know not to put our game next to it. So like to see that release date soon.
Horizon 3 will come out on GTA 6.
Jesus.
It probably will.
It probably will. Honestly, at this point.
Gosh.
Our Horizon multiplayer. Anyways, here's a GTA Online
Dude.
sequel. you
Oh,
know?
it's set up for that, isn't it? It
Yeah.
really is. Oh man, I can't believe that. That actually might happen.
It might happen. Let's see. Clock it.
That'd be crazy. All right. Let's get into the Game Awards. And like I said, I will go to the mailbag later on, and we'll also any of the super chats here we'll cover later as well. So don't worry, I see those coming in. Let's go to, you know what, before I start this, I do want to say last week we did a charity drive through YouTube specifically. Okay, so everything went through YouTube. We didn't have to deal with any of that, but the community here actually raised over $1,500 for Toys for Tots.
Oh, wow.
So I just want to give a shout out to the community out there, to the chat, people coming by for Spawncast. MVG, I do want to shout out also. He's not here tonight, but he did donate $250 as well as part of that. So shout out to the community, Toys for Tots. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool to see all that come together. So big applause there. Applause. Good stuff. So
Good stuff.
let me go to. We'll go to the Game Awards. Okay, so the Game Awards was technically 3.5 hours long. Look, it's a long show. I don't know what to tell you. It's I don't know if this one felt as long as previous years. I'll at least give Jeff Keighley some credit on that. It seemed to flow pretty well. Although I did have a hard time as I was going through and writing this down, figuring out what things were ads and what things were the show. There are times where it was like, oh, I was writing stuff down. I was like, wait, I feel like I've seen this gotcha game before. Ended up being a block of ads. So I don't know. He snuck those.
Yeah,
in there, I guess.
the show felt short, but that big creamy middle of the Hoyoverse right in the middle, where you just got stuck in there and you just see the same character design over and over again, and it's like, oh man, this is feeling long.
There was a Hoyoverse section in there, yes.
Yeah.
So back to back, this is an Xbox commercials. That was good.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. Oh my god, it's the same YouTube videos that they posted a couple weeks ago, and they decided to be like, oh Jeff, no, here's $750,000 to play our YouTube video on the stage. You know, that's insane. The games industry is just feeding Jeff like crazy. Like, I don't know.
He's got the viewership. I looked at that live stream as soon as it ended, and it went to like 8 million views immediately. So he's got the viewership. I'll give him that. And I think he counts all like the co-stream stuff too. That's why he pushes it so much. I believe he adds those numbers in as well. So it's the number they'll show up with will be pretty large, but it'll include a lot of that stuff. Pre-show, it was about half hour long, and I think they started strong. We had Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Emu's doing this. It was just good to see. It was good to see Ninja Gaiden again. I was like, okay, I like we've talked about this with the beat 'em ups, but we've seen that with 2D side scrollers as well, like this, where we're getting kind of that retro push.
Emu is a really good company, so it should be really good quality.
Love them. Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, the screenshots, the gameplay, everything looked good. So
beautiful. We haven't had a side scroller Ninja Gaiden since the NES days. You know, Super Nintendo and the Ninja Gaiden trilogy. That was the last one. You know,
it should have people probably rage quitting. So if it's anything like the original ones, we had One Move Away, which I believe I think that's Unpacking Studio that's doing that. Never got an Unpacking, so I can't really tell you much about that. Slay the Spire 2. Oh, go ahead.
Rewind. Wait, that's made by Unpacking?
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's the Unpacking Studio.
I love Unpacking.
Oh, that's
okay.
huge.
See, there we go.
It is
I love
such
Unpacking
a good
too.
game.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
This is kind of the reverse of it.
So I really enjoy like Unpacking in general. Everyone should play it. It's fantastic. But for it, like it tells you the story. No, but Sean should play it. If it makes you feel better, there's no cats in it, Sean, so you might have a good time. I don't know. But yeah, you learn the story like through like unpacking all these goods, and it's so cool. So I'm really excited for that. They're really clever with their storytelling, and it's just fun to like put things away. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Slay the Spire 2, and then we had Dave the Diver in the Jungle, which I think that's just like an update or expansion. We had Thick as Thieves. And so this is funny because I was watching the secret level episodes, which we had talked about that a little bit before, Gene, but the secret level episodes that came out, Pac-Man shows up here. Shadow Labyrinth. This just looks like the secret level episode.
It is.
Which is very interesting for them to release alongside of that.
That gives me a lot of hopium for a realistic looking Mega Man game.
now I'm looking at these secret level episodes. I'm like, hold on, these like auditions or ideas they kind of have for games in some way. Like Sifu clearly is just like the game we already have.
It's just a run of Sifu.
Yeah, but I'm now looking up and down because they released like half the episodes, and there were some where I was like, okay, cool, this is great. Armored Core, for example, really well done. I like that one.
Unreal Tournament was amazing. I love that one.
Sure, but like I'm thinking like, okay, cool, can we get a new Unreal Tournament?
Yes.
But I'm thinking about that back half of episodes coming up now with like the Mega Man and stuff. So like, okay, maybe there's something there. But
yeah, I seen all the episodes there. The Mega Man one really does feel like an intro cutscene to a game that we're never gonna get, and maybe we will. I don't know, who knows? But that like it's an awesome episode, but then that empty feeling you get when the credits roll, it hurts as a Mega Man fan.
What an interesting idea though for Pac-Man. I I was looking at the episode list. I'm like, how are they going to do Pac-Man? This is not what I would expect. It looks dark, action adventure style. Again, going along with that secret level. So, if anyone out there, go ahead, Gene.
Tim Miller, I interviewed Tim Miller, and if you guys don't know, Love, Death, and Robots was originally planned to be an adaptation of Heavy Metal magazine. And for the young folks who don't know, Heavy Metal magazine was a 1980s graphic novel magazine that had all kinds of violence and tits in it. Tits and violence on the cover, tits and violence all in the pages. It was an awesome fucking magazine and periodical. And he wanted to do that, and they couldn't get the rights. So Love, Death, and Robots was kind of like the replacement. And now he told me that Pac-Man was like his tribute to heavy metal, basically.
That just
no
seems
titties,
interesting to
though.
look at
No
Pac-Man.
titties, sadly.
Be like, that's the one, Pac-Man. I like the creativity, at least. It's interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait till everyone watches the Concord episode. Though.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna watch.
That's
so
still
people
coming
are
out?
Yeah,
it's coming out. Yeah,
they made it. Might as well do it.
Grums thought that it was delisted, and it's like, no, it's coming out next week, and it's gonna hit you, and it's you have to watch the Concord episode.
The one
And
that
the
I
PlayStation
heard was kind of
episode, but yeah, the
disappointing. The
Concord
PlayStation episode was apparently disappointing from what people
It's
were saying.
the PlayStation episode is actually worse than the Concord episode because at least when you watch the Concord episode, like you already know what to expect from Concord. Like if you've been exposed to Concord before, unfortunately, then you already know what to expect. With the PlayStation episode, I was like, okay, well let's see what Kratos does or whatever, and it was like nothing. So
that's a shame.
Man.
oh yeah, no, you've already seen most of Kratos in the episode. That
In the preview,
in the preview, the little 2-second preview where he shows up in the street. There's 3 more seconds of that.
Oh,
That's it. That's it. Everyone's like, "Oh, did Chris Judge voice it?" I was like, "They're not gonna fucking pay Chris Judge to voice an episode." No, he didn't say shit in the episode.
I was like, just like grunt, and then that's it. That's it.
He just goes, "Ruh," and then the character like dodges his ice attack because, of course, like the main character of the episode is like the strongest character ever. And then she goes, "Whoa, that was crazy!" And then you move on to the next cameo. And then she goes, "Whoa, that was off the hook!" And then like another like PlayStation character will show up. That's the whole episode. That's it.
That's a shame. Yeah. So if people are unaware, the secret level episodes aren't that long. Some of them are like less than 10 minutes. So they're pretty quick. And like Sifu, while it was really cool, without the credits, it's like 7 minutes long. They literally feel like video game cutscenes at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll check out the next batch of episodes because I think they're more interesting IPs for me, and they're like Mega Man. So, but Concord I will apparently watch. We'll see. We had Steel Paws. It's a mobile Netflix game. It's 2025. Midnight Murder Club. Beta is available now. Stallcraft Operations. Kyara, and then Slow Clap teased that they were going to be at this event. And I was like, oh, wow, could we get like something new for Sifu? Like not just the Sifu game, but like the next game in that franchise. And they showed up with a game called Rematch, which is a 5v5 arcade soccer game. Yep, that's about the reaction. Yep.
Probably better than Mario Strikers, but yeah.
I mean, that's not a high bar to climb over, though.
I saw some people excited for that joint, though. I seen some people they digging it. Yeah.
I like the arcade soccer games. Like Mario Strikers is a game that I was really looking forward to, and it felt like Nintendo dropped the ball with the online play specifically because you can only do 2 people basically on a team at once online, which seemed weird to me. But I do like the arcade soccer games, like back in the day with like Sega Soccer Slam. Mm-hmm. There's what's the anime soccer game that people really get a kick out of? I think it's from
Captain
Bandai.
Tsubasa, I think.
Oh yeah.
That's sort of the perspective that they have here because it's not zoomed out. It's like right behind your character in third person is what it looked like when they were showing it.
It's kind of cool because they did kung fu, and now it's like Shaolin Soccer. If you guys ever watched that movie,
Yeah, I mean, it's different. It's creative for them, and I'll at least take a look at it. But I will admit I was a little like, oh, that's not okay. It's not Sifu 2. But it's again, I don't mind the arcade soccer game. It just was caught me off guard.
My coworker joked that it was because we're sitting in the audience like when we were watching it, and he was like, "Oh, it's like Rocket League but with people," and I just thought that was such a funny way to describe
Oh my god.
like
That is
the
actually.
thing. Yeah, it does. It does. You know, for some reason, it's just giving Rocket League vibes. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it'll be cool.
Yeah, guy who's only played Rocket League. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is Rocket League. Yeah.
It's like car soccer
doing
with
it.
people instead.
Yeah,
Like
it's so
soccer.
crazy. So crazy. But he like said that ironically, but it was so funny. I don't know. I just had to share that.
Let's go into the main show. This was so at 8:00 we started up. Jeff Keighley really excited for 10 years of the Game Awards, and he kicked off with The Witcher 4. So this is a moment where I realize immediately that I'm not the biggest Witcher guy, so unfortunately I feel like a lot of this trailer was lost on me as things were happening.
Wow.
However, Evan has been playing Witcher ever since I met him. She is one of the few who had like the original Witcher game, which if you play that now, my gosh, that has not aged well.
That's not aged well.
Most games like that don't.
But it appeared that Ciri is the protagonist.
Yep.
Okay. It's mostly like a CG trailer, really. They didn't show gameplay or anything.
It's very close to how they always show their launch trailers.
We're
it's actually
ways
very
off
close
from
to their
this.
first one, or the Witcher 3 trailer.
My understanding, it recently went into full production at this point, and it's being built on Unreal Engine, so maybe that'll help speed up development and stuff for this. But Evan, what were your thoughts on the trailer? It seemed like people realized this was going to be the direction for Witcher after 3, so I don't think you're surprised to see Ciri there, but seemed some people were a bit mixed on this.
Well, I mean, yeah, it depends on who you ask. Granted, Witcher 3 had a bunch of different endings, and some of which, I mean, Ciri's not even around. So this is sort of them being like, nope, this is the only direction the story actually goes in. But the character is interesting. I actually have a friend who he loves fantasy novels, and he got into Witcher at 3, and he was okay with Geralt being basically just standard ranger with some magic powers. But then the segments where Ciri comes into play and basically omni slashes and blink strikes everyone to death, he's like, this is me. This is what I want in a game. So it could be more interesting to have that character for some people, not everyone. But I'll probably grab it. She makes for a good character. And there was some, like I said, there's some parallels between the launch trailer for 3 and this one, where Geralt kills the people handing him money because they were about to hang someone in front of him, and he did the whole "I'm killing monsters" line. And then in this trailer, it's all I see are monsters, and she looks angrier as she's like walking towards the people. So there's that kind of thing where you're going to get a different take on that universe from someone who's a little more emotional than Geralt.
There was a comment from the head of CD Projekt Red, Adam Badowski, said, if you're wondering how Ciri may be the path as a Witcher, well, there's the story of The Witcher 4 to tell that tale.
Yeah.
So it apparently Ciri, according to this person, has passed any of the trials and whatever you need, I guess, to become a Witcher. So
which is massively uncommon. So hopefully they cover that, because I think they stopped doing it at Geralt's generation just because they had this falling out with mages who are the only ones who can really do the Trial of Grasses. But so it's interesting to see how she's going to get it, because they showed right away the potion drinking, and I was like, oh, what's that going to do? And then her eyes changed. It's like, oh, all right, something happened. Could be cool.
All right. What do you think, G? Were you a Witcher guy?
Yeah, I'm a big Witcher fan. Played it since the beginning too, just like Evan. Read the books too.
Did you play 1? That's where I started.
Yeah, Witcher 1. Yeah, I played that shitty game.
Did you see the Polish TV show, The Hexer?
I did not watch that one. No, I didn't watch it. Yeah, I've been kind of wanting to, right? Because it looks really interesting. But yeah, it's funny to see people complain about like, oh, why is her character model look different? And I was like, have you seen how
10
Witcher
years later
1 and Witcher 2 and Witcher 3 looks like? They are all different looking games. You know, all looks completely. Geralt doesn't look the same in any of them. It's ridiculous. You know, so they're changing technology. But otherwise, yeah, Ciri was always going to be the main character. Geralt kind of is the side character in Ciri's story, actually. You know. And Geralt's story is largely done. It was over in Witcher 3. So much of the story from the ending of Witcher 3 to Blood and Wine was all about retiring Geralt out. It's like Old Snake, basically, you know. So yeah, I'm very excited. And yeah, as Evan mentioned, Ciri is very, very, very powerful. She's possibly the most powerful person in the game, which Makes sense. You're the protagonist. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Ciri is already very powerful with her elder blood magic. She's going to be doing all kinds of crazy stuff that we've never seen, and like it's probably going to address the most common complaint about The Witcher 3 is that a lot of people think that the combat sucks. I thought the combat's okay. It's fine. You know, it's not like the most amazing combat system of all time. And Witcher 2's combat system was kind of like more technical, kind of. You know, I don't know if you agree with that, Evan, but.
It was that the whole introduction to the slowdown when you go into your it was kind of close to Batman Arkham, because when you go between your gadgets, it slows stuff down. You can select and change as you got very tactical.
Yeah, it was very tactical. You really got to consider your potions and and the positioning of your character. Versus Witcher 3, it was a little closer to like Assassin's Creed, where you're just kind of going all over the place, and you still got to worry about your potions, especially in like the harder difficulties.
How many flashbangs you have, throwing knives, it's all
exactly. You got to use all your tools and everything like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Ciri does. But as far as I know, as far as I understand it, this game is far out. Not even close to like 4 years done. So
I hope they push on the multiverse thing that they touch on, because in 3 you do travel to a few other worlds, and that's kind of cool. And then Ciri talks easily about traveling to worlds, including technically the cyberpunk universe. So it'd be cool to see her actually adjust more between places during that run, so they can really expand like what she interacts with in the whole game. It'd be really useful and fun.
I wouldn't mind seeing the first one get a remake if that is the case, because it's just it hasn't, like I said, aged well. A lot of that's controls or layout, or it's not. It could use a bit, I guess, to be modernized a bit more. I might revisit it then if it gets.
Didn't they get announced, or am I true?
I think it did get announced that
I think they said they were, which would be important. Technically, there's a character in there like Ciri who you kind of see like the other direction with.
So yeah, that's there for. Someone in chat said that, but that's there for the Geralt fans. If you want to be a guy, then you can just play that. Then you know.
Okay. Yeah, there seemed to be some conversation around the character model. Looked fine to me. I don't know.
It's so stupid. She looks super hot. I don't know what people are talking about.
Oh, okay. I don't know if they like messed up her character model or something.
Did they do You Should Hire Fans with Siri? Like
no, she looks great. I think she looks
okay.
I think she looks super hot. It's ridiculous.
So what's the problem? I haven't seen.
People are complaining that she looks like a man, and it's like, no, she doesn't. She looks like an incredibly hot, gorgeous platinum blonde.
Are they blind? Like, come on.
I got a tweet pulled up right here of the critiques of her face. He got like little pointers. He says, enlarge orbiculus oris. Yeah. Too compressed labia nasal bridge too high. Body of zygomatic bone is too high. So these are some real anatomy experts.
This person has incredible knowledge of humans that got pulled into another universe and were raised next to elves and magic. Like.
These people crazy, man.
That's insane. That's just
you also get the occasional tweet of I want to choose to play Geralt instead of Ciri, and it's like, fuck off then. Play the first 3. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. She's such a cool character. Like, this is such a stupid thing to harp on. Like, she's awesome. She's a badass. Like, you have to play as her before. So, like, what's the problem? I don't know. People are just looking to be mad at things. So.
Exactly.
Like social media for you. Let's go to Elden Ring. That's Elden Ring Night Rain. Oh, okay.
Before we move on, do you think she's gonna play Gwent? Like, do you think that's gonna stay?
Oh, they got to bring it back for sure.
No, hopefully they bring back Dwarven Dice as well. God, I love that from the first game.
I just wanted to throw that in there. Okay, yeah, we can continue.
We did have Elden Ring Night Rain. That's it looks like a standalone co-op game that's slated for next year. So we are getting more Elden Ring, I guess, which how do people feel about that? Because I see some say that it feels kind of played out a bit. Others are really excited just to get more of it. FromSoft obviously understands how much money's made here, but a co-op Elden Ring? Sean, we get you in on that finally?
No, thank you.
I heard you can play single player. It's not mandatory co-op. It's not like a Joseph Ferris game, you know.
I'm all right on it. I'm good. Glad for the Elden Ring fans. Not my cup of tea.
I'm mixed on it because I am kind of tired of Elden Ring. We just got out of Shadow of the Erdtree. That was already huge and exhausting, and Elden Ring itself is very exhausting. But then I rewatched the trailer again, and I was like, man, there's a lot of crazy shit going on in this trailer right now. I have to see this. And it sounds like there's a lot of asset reuse, and they're just making something fun out of it, So
Yeah, that seems like the strategy they've been doing. I mean, them and RGG, they both seem to do that quite a bit, but I mean, the fans seem to really enjoy it. And more Elden Ring. I spent so much time at this point in Elden Ring. I feel like I'm just about good, but
I'm kind of done with the world. Yeah, I know.
There's a child sacrifice going on in the background. What's going on?
no, they went to Winter Wonderland. Now they're back, and they're all excited because they got like Santa stuff and everything.
Spoiled children.
You know, at the last comment, they're like, I like hearing your kids in the background. I'm older now, and I don't have
Nobody said
kids
that.
running around anymore. What
Nobody
they did?
Nobody. They were probably being sarcastic.
Logging into your
You
sock
just
account
pick
just
on
to
it.
make it seem
No,
normal.
there's like 50 some odd upvotes on that. What? No, they got to go to Winter Wonderland and they all kinds of like holiday stuff there. See, and we played the Astrobot level earlier too, and that was like a whole thing because actually it's a lot more than I thought it'd be.
It's
So,
a huge level. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I was expecting to jump in the level. And it's like, oh, you get 3 bots or something or 2, and it's like it's like full 6 or 7 bots or
It's a
something.
big ass Mario 64 level. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. So it was really cool to see that. And I don't want to spoil it, but I was surprised at some of the bots that were popping up. So it was pretty cool. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that is going to PC. Improved lighting, textures, DLSS, January 23rd. I've spent enough time in this game. I'm good. But for people on PC who have not played it, I liked it. Sean says it's too much padding, but I think it's still worth checking out. Evan, you going to pick this one up?
No.
Okay.
Didn't like the padding in the first, and Sean says there's too much, so I'm gonna just stick with it.
It's worse in the second.
It's definitely worse than
I watched Rax play it a bit, and after a couple hours, I was like, I don't want this.
It goes on for a long time. People are saying they platinum the game as like almost 200 hours or something. I think I was like 80 something hours in after beating it and doing some of the stuff, and I'm like, I see where like the time sink is, and I think I'm good. I got enough.
So I had the best time with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because I did none of the mini games. So I beat the game in 35 hours.
Oh yeah, you're good then. Yeah,
and I was like, oh, there was no padding for me at all. It was all just good Final Fantasy storytelling and cutscenes. Some of the dungeons toward the end were very, very padding, especially the Final Fantasy VII Remake brand of padding, where it's like this dungeon does not need to be that long. But outside of the stuff, I skipped all the mini games. That's the card game, not a stupid card game because I actually love Queen's Blood. But the card game, there's a mandatory tournament on the yacht that you have to play, but you can forfeit it. That's what I did. I just forfeited. I just moved on with the game. I'm
surprised they haven't games as a service Queen's Blood yet. Everyone seems to like it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That even if they just did it on mobile phones, like we see card games pop up on phones all the time. So we had. I did put this was an ad. I just put it in there because I thought it was funny, and I figure Sean would get a kick out of it. Catly.
What is that? I didn't even see that.
Here's the interesting thing about this one. This flew under the radar a bit. I have no idea what's going on with this game, and other people noticed too.
I'm sure someone knows what's going on with this game.
No, I don't.
Wow.
I literally have never heard it. Well, I think they announced it, or is it out? No, they had just announced it. I have no idea what this game is about. The cats are cute. They look fluffy and really detailed. Is it a VR game? Is it?
No. So the thing with this game, and people are really confused about this, trying to figure out what the deal is here. Some are wondering if the company behind it is real. And they're trying to figure out if this is a fully AI made game.
AI game, yeah.
That's
wow.
They picked cats. How dare they?
I know, and especially since like
fruit.
Pokemon and Ninja, Pokemon or whatever, and Ninja came out and said like, "Oh my god, this game is amazing," and it's like, yeah, this is like an industry plant. The game,
It's a plant. It's totally a plant. Boycott.
The company that's making your developer, I can't find anything else about them. And it is, from what I could tell, super authentic. Super, and then almost authentic without the C on the end.
It's just the A and the I.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, it kind of looks like they went, hey, Grok, can you make some images of cats and then animate them. So there are a lot of questions around that, and that is odd that would show up in the Game Awards because you feel like they would screen it a little bit. If that is the case, we don't know.
People are saying it works with crypto and NFTs.
Okay.
God, that's so gross.
Did Ninja talk about anything else from the Game Awards? No, he didn't. He only talked about the cat game.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I wonder. Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't disclosed as an ad. Are you watching the Game Awards? If you're a cat lover, you have to check this game out. Go out there and add it to your Steam wish list. Didn't talk about another single fucking game.
That's crazy. That's
time to put that detective hat on, Sean, and get out there.
New video in 2 hours.
That's crazy because there was so much Fortnite presence in the Game Awards too. You know.
Yeah, you're right. They just probably didn't have pop for that. Catly though, Catly. Yeah, check out that studio, Sean. Super authentic.
I want to see if
authentic.
Pokimane. Isn't she kind of Sue happy though?
Oh, you're trying to figure out if you're going to be able to make it through if you make a video.
Oh no, she didn't make a tweet on it, so I'll just go after Ninja if I have to.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, keep an eye on apparently that one, because that you might see that in some headlines down the road if it is indeed what we think it is right now. We had, I guess, just an untitled project, but it's Epic Game Publishing, and it's some creator of Shadow of the Colossus, Ico, Last Guardian. They showed climbing. There's a robot. The head flies away when they get on there. It looks imaginative. It looks like what you'd expect, where you don't really understand what's going on out of context.
Very Gurren Lagann coded.
Yeah.
If you guys
know
the anime,
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
I mean, it's cool that we're getting.
Game? What the hell?
I mean, it's cool that we're getting another one of these games. It's not really sure what to take away from it, other than it looks different than anything else I've seen. So
what's crazy is that you know how all the games, like, you can't understand the language, but in this game it's like 60 seconds, 55 seconds, and like, what the fuck? I can understand what the fuck they're talking about. Like that's huge. This is different. What the hell kind of world is this? You know. I'm very intrigued, but it seems like it's going to be far off too. So, but this was like the biggest surprise for me. I'm glad to see Fumito Ueda come back for sure.
We had Outer Worlds 2, which I was happy to see that. It looks like we'd expect more Outer Worlds, which is good. Launching on the PlayStation 5 alongside the Xbox and PC seemingly all at once, going into Game Pass as well day one. Sean, you liked Outer Worlds 1. I assume you're in on 2.
Yeah, for sure. This is actually quite a rabbit hole. People have already done quite a lot of stuff on here. So Super Authentic is associated with only one person, Kevin Ewing, a man who heavily pushes NFTs and cryptos. It looks like it's not their only time they try to release a game. They try to do a blockchain game called under a studio name called 10th Planet as well. And then the Kevin person is now trying to nuke everything tied to their name on the internet. And they had a fashion collection thing. Yeah. So they have some other trademarks like Alien Meow, Mech Angel, the original Catly from 2023, and then a redone Catly from 2024. Interesting.
I'll expect the shout out in the beginning of that video.
I was say that's your next video, huh?
It might be.
It's gotta be, man. Come on.
Just because I can attach Ninja to it. That's
gonna be fire in the background. I just want to know if there's fire in the background.
Ninja under attack, have him like doing a kind of a soyish face.
No, yeah.
And then the fire.
You got to be frowning.
Just put his head on the top of a Fortnite character.
Good. You good.
Expect the shout out in the beginning. Oh, I was on a podcast with Spawn Wave, Kimrix, Gene Park.
Look,
Jack
you made
Move, Johnny,
Celia
and Delia.
quit because we exposed the cat game.
And it's like
everyone gets a shout out in the beginning.
Ninja's about to show up in Shovel Knight. I got to get out of here.
Oh no.
we had Split Fiction, which, hey, at this point, Haze Light shows up and I'm interested. I'm at least interested to see what they have.
That looked cool.
The co-op, it looks cool. The co-op thing always throws me off though, because I'm like, all right, I gotta like find someone to play this with. Which A Way Out was the one that I had a harder time with, whereas It Takes Two was a bit easier, just because I have people around here, kids around here now that can play those games. But Split Fiction is apparently 2 writers who have their stories come to life in simulations. You need to escape back to reality. Sci-fi fantasy worlds. March 6th, so it's out in less than 4 months. So I like hearing that announcements for games that are out in like next few months. But it seems like Hazelight, Joseph Ferris have made a pretty good name for themselves at this point.
Yeah.
So
They ain't missed yet. I played all his games. They ain't shooting 100% right now.
Yeah, I would say you're big. You played A Way Out. You played Takes Two. You're going both of those. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Brothers, Tales of Two Sons played that.
Oh, good stuff.
Hey.
Yeah, this one, same deal. They're going to have a pass that you get with it when you buy it, so you can just hand it to somebody. They can just download and play the game with you as well. So they seem to be on it right now. They basically have like a spot reserved at the Game Awards. It feels like every year now if they want it.
Well, the guy's charismatic.
That's
compared
true.
to a lot of people, aside from celebrities and stuff, they can be charismatic, but a lot of the people they have out there, they're not super charismatic.
He's good in front of the camera. Did you see the video he had where he kind of did the tour of his studio?
Mm-hmm.
It was on
Cribs it basically.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it was on Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like he's having a blast there. So I mean, obviously the camera's in front of him. And he's putting on a bit of a show, but he knows how to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
so he has fun. What Celia so far in? Okay, so we're at Split Fiction right now. Was there any game at the beginning that the crowd actually like really popped for?
For all of it, everyone was really stoked about. Like, okay, so the energy in the room, like you're just pumped. Everyone's just really excited. So I don't know.
Catley had people out of their seats, man.
To be honest, Cat Game okay, maybe not that one. But like the other ones, like we like stood up when like Witcher was announced, and a lot of people screamed for Elden Ring, and like I don't know, like everyone was just pumped except for Cat Game boycott.
Sean, you'd fit in right perfectly there. I don't know why you don't take Jeff Keighley up on that ticket.
Hey.
You should go. It's really fun. Also, something to acknowledge in the Game Awards theater, there's a lot of consumer tickets as well. So like the first front section is like games industry, but like the higher up areas and like the rafters and all that's all consumers like hanging out and watching too. So it's not just game people being excited. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. Let's see. We have Steel Hunters. This seems like something you'd be interested in, Evan. It's got mech combat. People were joking about it being Titanfall 3. I don't think it looks quite like that, but
I think I saw that. That's from a company that makes a lot of like junk throwaway sort of mobile combat games. I think from what I was looking into.
They just need Ninja to tweet about it.
Oh yeah.
Gosh. No one was like, why is he tweeting about Catley? No one questioned that. Man, this Catley thing's gonna be ongoing for a while. Black Frost Long Dark 2. Early access 2026. Borderlands 4. Okay. Any Borderlands fans here? Because to me, I'll be real. Looked kind of like Borderlands again. Look like Borderlands to me. I don't know if that's good. I don't think that's bad, but I'm getting a little fatigued on Borderlands, but people seem to keep buying it.
Got tired of Borderlands after Borderlands 1.
I've never been a fan. I tried to play Borderlands 1 a couple of times, bro. I couldn't get into it, bro.
I hate the writing. I always hated the writing.
Yeah, like
it's so cringy.
I was trying with 3. I probably got a good chunk of the way through 3, and I just slowly fell out of it. I mean, the looter shooter thing, maybe just in general, has kind of waned on me a bit. Whereas when the first Borderlands came out, it was like legitimately, wow, there's like millions of guns in this game. And then eventually you start to realize, oh, it's just they're just changing the numbers and some of the attributes, and you're really kind of picking up like 100 guns or something. So, but yeah, sure, Borderlands fans were probably really excited for it, and that's good. But
some cool monster designs in the trailer. I was like, okay, that looks interesting. I wish it wasn't in Borderlands, but yeah, but we'll see.
The trailer was really, really like well edited. I really enjoyed it. And it's like the technical of it with like the music and everything. I think it was a cool trailer. I'm not a Borderlands fan, so I have nothing else to comment on that. But I really like the skill of the editing.
Tekken 8 getting Clive from Final Fantasy 16 next week. People were asking for Tifa, and Square said, "Here's Clive." So
consolation prize.
Met him halfway.
I'm still confident we're gonna get Tifa someday.
Okay. Splitgate 2, which I think Splitgate 2 actually looked really good. That's they left Splitgate 1 to make this, so they actually shut that down, basically, like support for it. Moved on to this, and I just think it looks significantly better visually. The moment-to-moment gun combat they showed was good. I mean, they showed maybe a minute of it, but I'm interested. I am 2025 on this one. People have been playing it, and they've said it's pretty good. So that's I'm in on that. Sean, this next one's you, and of course you're not here.
Yeah, I think you walked away.
I'm me.
Okay.
It's me too.
Okay. Virtua Fighter is back.
Huge.
Virtua Fighter's back. RGG's doing this, by the way. That one, I don't know why that one surprised me a little bit. That RGG was doing this.
You haven't played the Yakuza games?
No, I played the Yakuza games, but even I was like, oh, Virtua Fighter is being done by RGG. Okay. And then they announced a new IP right afterwards.
Have you played the arcade games in Yakuza games?
When you go in and you play the arcade and like Virtua Fighter. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've seen that.
Every Yakuza game has a Virtua Fighter game. So it's like there's one guy in RGG who really, really loves Virtua Fighter.
Hey.
And now
get to make one now.
Yeah, and now his dream has come true. They're making it, which is
every
incredible.
morning meeting, just coffee in hand. Hey, you guys think we could do something with Virtua Fighter for like years?
And it's like, no, we're making the
we
Hawaii
got so
game,
much
okay.
other stuff happening.
It's like, all right, I'll just port it into the arcade machines again. You know,
there was a Virtua Fighter direct, I guess, today. I didn't see it.
The beta dropped. The Virtua Fighter 5 PC beta dropped last night, so I'm checking that out.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
You on that, Evan?
Let me take a look.
Okay, cool. We'll see if Evan's gonna.
Yeah, I'm a huge Virtua Fighter fan.
I love the old ones. I love them.
I've never actually been like professionally an esports person, but I did train on Virtua Fighter quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
Is Yu Suzuki working on this one too?
Nope.
We not?
Nope. I don't think so.
I need Shenmue 4, man. That's what I'm really trying to.
I thought we had a Yu Suzuki game announced here. Hold on, that was I feel like that was Steel Paws.
So he is working on. Man, he need to get on that Shenmue 4.
Oh yeah, no, it is Steel Paws. Because here's like all the headlines for that game have been like Shenmue and Virtua Fighter creator Yu Suzuki's new game, Steel Paws. It's like, what are you doing? You don't have, you're not exactly a spry young chicken. You have a story. You're 66. Okay. You have a story that you need to fucking finish.
I'm trying to fight Landy again. Just
let me finish the story, please.
Bro. God.
I've
You
given
said
up.
Shenmue 3 didn't really do a lot, right, Sean? So basically, you were on this path for the plot, and then they said, "Okay, do this loop," and then they just came right back there, and like, "All right, we'll continue later."
Yeah.
You really didn't accomplish much or push the story forward.
Nothing happened, bro.
My fucking name is.
You can't even do damage on the final boss. You just whoop your ass for like 2 minutes, and then the game go off. It's like, damn, like
my fucking name is in the credits of that game, Shenmue 3, because I bought the Kickstarter $200 like get me the producer credit one. So because I was that fucking excited. That was
proud of what you did,
Gene?
Gene? Are you proud?
Right? Shenmue 3, FF7 remake, and like I was just coasting on a high, and I was like, no, I'm Yu Suzuki. You got $200 for me. Put my name in the credits. Give me this game, and then I got it. And I was like, this is the worst game I've ever played.
I still kind of like it. That's like the worst like game. I still kind of like.
Yeah, you like it because it's Shenmue.
I might check it out now.
Deep
Facts,
down, you wanted to do what it needed to do, and it doesn't.
Hey, we're gonna get more ports of that. They'll get there. They'll get there someday. Shenmue 4.
More
Virtua Fighter. I'm so excited. Sean, I'm actually going to interview the president of Sega on Tuesday. So
awesome.
If you have questions, DM me or let me know. But
I'll send you some for sure.
Yeah.
Virtua Fighter. I watched the direct this morning, and I was kind of like, because they didn't really show much of the game. They just kind of talked about the history of the franchise. But no, very cool stuff. Like I've been saying, Tekken is seeing a lot of success. Street Fighter seeing a lot of success. Mortal Kombat seeing a lot of success. They're all kind of unique games from each other. And Virtua Fighter is yet another unique fighting game that I still think has, some pedigree. People that I didn't even know like cared about Virtua Fighter were stoked for this on like my social media, my YouTube feed. So I can't wait to see more. I'm glad that they are continuing to revive IPs that are IPs that people have been asking for decades now.
Jet Set Radio, all that,
Yep.
all that good stuff.
Crazy Taxi, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we also had Project Century also from RGG, and this looks a bit more serious than the Like a Dragon games. Like this looks more violent, more I guess just serious in tone, because they get someone down on the ground, and he just starts wailing on them, and like just blood flying everywhere. So it looked I don't really know what to make of it at this point, but a new IP from RGG at this, they are just churning out games.
I think it's another Like a Dragon game, and it's a
Okay.
prequel. It's a prequel to the whole series and Lost Judgment and everything like that. But I think that they just showed us what the next few the next chapter of Like a Dragon games are going to look like. And this is a prequel. This is the origin of the Yakuza, maybe, 1915, the modern Yakuza, because like he's walking down and he's got his little babe there with him too, and he's like, yeah, like he's already pimping, in 1915,
We had Turok Origins. Turok's back. Huh?
Is he?
Is he?
care.
Is it? Saber?
Saber's a good company. I'm not
Okay,
going to
good.
say they're not, but nothing about that screamed Turok to me beyond
Yes.
like
Just guns and dinosaurs.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
He's not happy as third person.
And the guns didn't even feel like Turok, because those always
Yeah.
felt more like Unreal guns and stuff eventually. Like they got crazy in that series, and this one was just more like regular things.
Well, we get
And-
the cerebral bore. We need that.
Well, we get the two versions of it from Oblivion, the one that can control something. Like, come on.
like I feel like they didn't understand like what made Turok cool in the first place,
Mhm.
because really everything after the N64 trilogy wasn't very good, and the N64 trilogy was rooted. I mean, it had story for 3 was definitely more expansive than the other two, but it was always a first person shooter with platforming, and platforming was kind of a big emphasis of it, and especially in 3, where it's like that game is Turok 3 is so underrated. I never played it as a kid. I picked up the Night Dive remaster when it came out, just because I was like, oh, I never played this. I wonder how it is. And I was just blown away by how like different it is from all the other Turok games, but it still feels like Turok, and it still has that sense of exploration, that sense of platforming and stuff like that. I actually booted it up on the N64. I've been enjoying it on there too. But yeah, it's something felt very off. I mean, I'll keep an eye on it. I'm keeping an open mind, but something didn't look right.
Wait, did
Yeah.
Turok 3 come out at the end of the Nintendo 64's life
Yeah.
cycle?
It's the
Because
Oblivion one that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was a third one on N64.
It's almost like it. I would say it's more of a like it feels more a bit like Half-Life.
Quake-ish, Half-Life-ish.
Quake-ish, yeah. Like it's very like modern settings and like a grapple beam and stuff like that. But
And it's cool because you got to choose 2 different paths to the story. There's 2
right, you had
characters
2
can
different
pick.
characters who had 2
Wow.
different paths. Yeah, it's like I said, it's super underrated. I feel like a lot of N64 owners were Turok'd out because you had 1,
Yeah.
2, and then Rage Wars as
Yeah,
well.
Rage War.
So it was like, but no, it's a super underrated game. And there's a modern version on modern platforms where it has like better frame rate and cleaned up visuals and shit.
Came out August 31st, 2000. So that was like we were talking about like PS2 and stuff at that time.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Learn something new every day.
What was the one on the GameCube, and what was that? I remember playing that
Evolution.
one. Okay. Yeah, I remember that one not being great.
And then there was
So.
one more reboot on the 360. That was also
There
It was like space travel, and they were hunting
Yeah.
dinosaurs across the
Right.
universe or something.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
forgot about
Let's
that.
see.
too. Yeah,
but it's okay.
Yeah.
We're disconnected because most gamers in the chat were excited for Turok Origins.
sure.
See, Sean?
Hey. We're wrong. They like generic games
Yeah,
based
they didn't
on
even
franchises that only old people know about.
They didn't even need to call it Turok, I guess, from what we saw. It could have just been something else. I don't
I
know.
feel like people just kind of like really love the over shoulder third person camera angle, which I'm honestly getting so tired of. I'm so tired of it.
I usually think, I think of Turok as first person, so maybe that's what was. I still think maybe that was throwing me off because when I saw that, I kind of thought of Exo Primal a bit, to be honest. And we did play through that game, and it was all right, but
It'd be like taking Dino Crisis and then just completely changing like everything about it. Like, sure, you're getting Dino Crisis back as an IP, but you know,
we got Exo Primal. That was it.
You got Exo.
Yeah,
You got
That was
Exo
the
Primal.
game. Changed everything about it. Helldivers 2 Omens of Tyranny. That is out now. I don't know if anyone's playing Helldivers 2 right now, but people seem excited. The concurrent player count spiked heavily.
Like right back up to six figures for sure.
Yeah.
So it looked kind of cool. I'm reinstalling it too. You know, I'll check it out.
Okay, good stuff. You on this one, Jack? You going back in?
Got to re-download. I definitely got to re-download it. Yeah, some of the homies they want to play it, so I'm right back on it.
Yeah, looks dope.
Good stuff. Evan, Warframe 1999.
I mean, they've been pushing it for a while, but I'm trying to avoid it. I've put like 2,000 hours in that game. I don't want to fall back in that hole.
Gosh, I mean, that game has been around. They mentioned for 12 years.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. Like, wow, it really has been 12 years that game's been out.
They don't get put up for best ongoing, so I don't know.
Oh well,
they keep making it though. I don't.
Yeah, and Red 4 was a presenter and everything too. You know.
Yeah.
She looked great, by the way. Her dress was amazing.
And we had Pow World Faybreak. Okay, December 23rd.
I'm done with
They
that one.
removed, by the way, the sphere throwing animation from that game, most likely because of Nintendo and the lawsuit.
Now you just summon your pals.
It just shows up next to you. The next one I'm going to allow Sean to mention because this is a game for Sean right here. You're pretty excited about this. It was a Capcom game.
I didn't follow. I didn't watch the show. I just watched the highlights. So I don't know like the order of things. Are you talking about Onimusha?
Yeah. I thought you were like hype for that, dude.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It was a great series that just completely went away, and then we got the remasters that came out. But no, super cool to see it. You know, I'm like some jackass said on Twitter, it's nice to see that Capcom's in a position to where they can revisit. Shut up. Where they can revisit franchises like this and you know make a new entry, sort of a reboot as it seems. But yeah, it looked super good. I definitely want to see more of it. And if you haven't played the original games, I recommend it. You know, I believe they're on modern platforms.
Or
see it had
hold off and wait
multi-directional
for the new
combat.
one, and don't be disappointed by the old at modern times.
Yeah, the
I love the multi-directional
multi-directional
combat that they showed in the trailer, where the guys were, you know, Samanosuke or whoever is like blocking a sword attack, and then it kicks behind him, and it's like, yo, that's some S tier combat looking right there. You know, I'm so excited for this game.
Yeah, the last one I remember playing was Dawn of Dreams, and I was like, when was that? I had to double check, and that was 2006 or 2007.
2006, yeah, 2006.
It's been a long time since outside of they did the remaster and stuff, I know that, but like the one that I remember going into, I was like, okay, that's brand new Onimusha. It's been so long. So it was really cool to see Capcom do that, which we're going to talk about something else that they're bringing back.
Yep.
But this is what we always think of companies doing when they have incredibly successful, you can even say live service. Monster Hunter, I know they release like multiple entries and stuff, but still they do expansions and they continue developing and creating this line, and it's very successful. The idea is, hey, you make a bunch of money there, and then you go back and try to pick out IPs that have been pretty much left behind. Can you do something with that? So that's one of the reasons I was really happy to see Capcom, not only for this, but another game. It's one of the reasons I commented on, like, okay, this is what Capcom was in a bad place before Monster Hunter World came out. And this is a comeback story right here. So I'm glad they're putting some money out that actually gives us games like this. Well, we got to see how it turns out, but at least giving it a shot. So
need that
Just gotta
Code
give Megan
Veronica and that Dino Crisis, and then
and Meg.
Man. Facts.
Although I don't think Mega Man is going to cost as much as Onimusha. So
I think you got Mega Man 11. That wasn't too long ago. Wasn't too
That was
long
so
ago.
long
pal.
ago.
That was ages ago, Sean.
That was sooner than fucking Dino Crisis was.
Oh yes, of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
That Onimusha, yes, too. I agree with that. Yes,
that's true. That's true.
yes. Fair point. Fair point.
Man, it's a tough problem to have if you're Capcom. All these IPs, people are asking you to sell them.
I know, like, look, Resident Evil is actually my favorite series of all time, but now I go on Twitter and people are like upset that there was no Resident Evil game, and it's like, guys, we've had so many Resident Evil games the last few years. Let's just chew on that for a little bit, Jesus.
Let's go through a few of these quickly. First, Berserker Kazan. That's out March 27th. Dungeon and Fighter Arad. And we had Dying Light, the Beast, standalone title in summer 2025. I like Dying Light too, so I will be buying this one. Playing through it. It did still kind of look like just more Dying Light, like what I expected to. Then we had Stage Fright, which, hey, Overcooked fans out there, this looks pretty ambitious for that team. What they showed. They also made a fun little jab at E3, so I'm sure Jeff approved that, but it was still interesting to see them mention that. I don't know, Celia, if people like kind of reacted to that.
There was oohs and ahs, like, oh, it was just silly. It was cute.
How was that done though in person? Because it looked like they went into some serious work to kind of make a stage presence out of that one.
They rehearsed it and they made it happen. There's like a whole rehearsal process before the Game Awards.
Were you part of that rehearsal process too?
No, because I was on for a minute, so I didn't have to be there. They were like, you can if you want, and I was like, I'll just do it and then see what happens.
I got this.
It was like 3-4 sentences, so I didn't need to. But definitely for a lot of people that have a ton of lines, I totally get why you need to rehearse.
Does Jeff still does that thing where like he acts like something happened at the show and like he doesn't understand what's going on? You weren't watching, Sean, but he has that thing where like the lights flicker and he's like, what's going on at my show that I rehearsed 12 times? What is this? He's like looking around and like, yeah.
It's so corny.
They got a specific shot of him doing that where like the lights are like he's a slow turn and then the lights go out and the stage like pops and stuff. So I mean, it was a fun presentation for it, and hey, it looks cool. It looks imaginative. It looks like I expect a studio like the Overcooked to take a shot at. So it's pretty cool. I do want to ask you this, Celia, because you were there. You had a view of this. At the beginning of the show, something weird happened.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so Jeff is going around. He's calling out people in the audience. He's like, this guy's here. Look at this guy. He's going to look. He's pointing at him. And he comes over. He's like, Ken Kutaragi's here, father of PlayStation. He's like looking around, like getting up, waving. And then the camera goes away from him. And he's like, oh, okay, we got this person over here. I don't know if he thought he was supposed to take the stage.
He went up to the security guard.
He went up
as far as the security guard.
Yeah, he stood up and started waving. And everyone's like, "Yay!" And then things continue. So obviously, like for shouting people out, I think they get a heads up that I don't know. Maybe he just was caught off guard or like something of the sort. But yeah, he did get up. He did go. And then he was like, "Oh shoot!" and like turned around and walked back.
That was embarrassing.
Okay.
No, it's fine. Like it's not a big deal. Like everyone. There's always little like goofs and gaffes at the.
I mean, if that wasn't rehearsed, I'd be curious what he was going to say. I'd be like, "Yo, come on up here."
Yeah. And also, I think people forget Ken Kutaragi. He's a legend, but he's one of the most like conceited motherfuckers in the industry ever, too. So like he probably thought like, "Oh yeah, it's my turn to talk for sure." Because I mean, he earns it. He deserves it. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I would have totally liked to hear, but he does seem like the kind of guy who'd be like, "Oh yeah, I got time to talk, no problem." Just go up on stage.
He was ready to take that stage, man. Security guard has something to say though, apparently.
That's funny.
And the funniest thing is that the next person Jeff shouts out is Ella Purnell, and she literally just did an interview where she was like, "I don't want to be typecast as a video game girl."
Well,
and then Jeff Keighley's like, "Look at our video game girl here. She's so fucking pretty, isn't she? Here and wonderful. She's here, guys."
Oop.
It just stuck out right at the beginning. People were like, I don't know what happened there.
I didn't realize that got caught on camera. I literally was like, because they always like pan away or like there's like things that you guys don't see because they're obviously not showing it. And I was like, oh man, it's so good that they like switched frames to someone else, and it's like, oh shit, you guys know about that?
Oh yeah, they followed, the camera followed him for a minute. I thought it was part of the show, and they cut away when he got closer to the stage. So
because like there's guys like running around with cameras like in the aisles, so maybe they were just on that feed to be like, let's see what he does.
We had Squid Game Unleashed. It's their Netflix game. There you go. Mobile phones, December 17th. Game of Thrones, King's Road. Anything? Nothing? No.
Is that a mobile game? Like it looked kind of like
I'm not 100% on that because I'm not the biggest Game of Thrones person. But I mean, it looked like it was a bigger budget title than a mobile game from what they were showing. But there's so many times where they show us a trailer of something and then they flash the gameplay and it's like an RTS or something. Yeah. So it was kind of hard to gauge from that for King's Road. Maybe somebody in the chat can enlighten us on that one. A Game of Thrones fan out there. We had Double Dragon Revive. You on that, Sean?
I didn't see that.
See, you're learning stuff here. Learning stuff. Okay.
They didn't show much. So
October 23rd, 2025.
Yeah, that's far off still for such a low budget game. So I don't know. They didn't show anything. It's weird.
Okay.
Oh, it's Arc System Works.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, could be interesting.
Good pedigree.
We had Screamer, which I wasn't aware. Some people were mentioning this. It's actually an older title that was, I believe, it came out in 1995 for, was this MS-DOS? I'm not a Screamer person in terms of this IP, but they're, I guess, remaking or just making a new one here in the series. It looked like kind of an action adventure racing game, sort of in an anime style.
A 29-year-old PC racing game going cyberpunk anime with Troy Baker, initial D drifting, and cutscenes from the Metroid Other M studio.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's 2026, and they already put it up for pre-order and stuff, but they didn't have too much else to show. See, we had the Naughty Dog showed up at The Last of Us Part 2 on PC, April 3rd, 2025. There was a moment here where I know it because I saw people online that were like, this is Naughty Dog's thing. This is it. Like all the kind of the whispers and stuff. It's like, oh, that was it. Because initially there were images of Neil Druckmann in the crowd going out and people were like, oh, wow, they're really going to do it. This showed up and it was like, oh, because that's not, Sony's kind of done this before at some of their shows where it's like, oh, the big announcement's a PC board, which, okay. I mean, it was eventually going to go anyway. We know that, but it was, there was about 30 minutes there where people were like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. We had Den of Wolves, which this is from the Payday creator. It's a heist game. I'm interested because the heist genre has been terrible recently.
Mm-hmm. It's specifically 10 Chambers, which that's the founding members of Overkill who left and made GTFO, that game I kept telling you guys about that I played a lot. This is their next one.
Okay. See, I'm interested. The fact that it has kind of that pedigree behind it after what happened with Payday 3, which was just so bad. It was just like a disaster with that game.
Hey, Jade Raymond. She's gonna save the fucking heist market.
Fair games. Oh,
it's ironic that she's making a heist game, considering how she's been heisting money from all these companies for over a decade now. Just hey, shout outs to her, man. Get them bags.
Get that bag. I met her once. She's a very nice lady, but that's all I can say. So
Fair Game's kind of behind the 8 ball, yeah. But well, we're still waiting to see more about that one. See how that works out. Hopefully it's not the Concord situation, but we'll see with that one. But I mean, hey, this at least has some people behind it that know what they're doing. So that's not, I didn't even say early access coming someday. It was like 20.
Do you think Sony thinks that Fair Games is going to be the next GTA because they thought Concord was going to be the next Star Wars, right? And they're like, no, Jade Raymond's got it. She's going to figure out the next GTA online. You know?
Herman Hulse gassing them all up. This is great. This is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yep, this is the future of crime drama right here.
You know, we kind of thought they were buying these studios because the games were like that good, and then we saw Concord. Now I have no idea why they bought. We don't know why. I mean, obviously that studio is gone now, Firewalk, but it's like, ooh, what about Haven? Why'd you buy them? Fair Games? Okay. So,
yep.
Hopefully that game is ready to show next year.
Fair Games is the future of PlayStation.
Best thing I've ever played.
Gosh. Poor Jack.
Sonic.
Oh my god.
Sonic Racing Cross Worlds just coming soon. Not much for the trailer. It might as well have been a title card. I mean, Shadow is in it, I guess. That's something.
The PR girl said that they got more stuff to show very soon because I follow her on Twitter.
Okay, we'll keep an eye. Hey, I'm sure Sonic fans just happy to get that title card. So, and we move on to one that I think most people were universally happy with, actually, because we are getting the new Mafia game, summer 2025. The Old Country. It's looked good. This looked very good.
Yeah,
man. I mean, the last one I played was the remake that they did. I played that on the Xbox. It was awesome. It was very good because it was like $40 when it came out too, so it wasn't even like full price. But I've been waiting for a new Mafia game for a bit. As I'm on this day one.
Absolutely.
Old Country looks like the same concept as the Project Century, the RGG game. Like let's go back to the origins of the gang. You know.
Oh, yep. I read something good about this game too. Apparently, according to Ron McCaffrey, this game is not going to be open world. You know, the other Mafia games is open world.
Yep.
And like if you play the other Mafia games, it ain't shit in them open worlds, dog. You just driving around. There's nothing to do. So very welcome change. You know, they're going back to the roots or whatnot. I'm looking forward to this game, man. It looks very dope. Definitely look forward.
Yeah, this is a game that probably would just do better as, I don't want to say like on rails or anything, but as more of a streamlined
linear
point A to point
like
B.
a linear game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Like, you can still have areas where it opens up a little bit, but like you don't have to go, hey, we made this city so we can do these driving missions. It's like, oh, okay. That's it. And it's like you said, Jack, there's nothing going on. You just
At
it's
all.
like Driver 2 from back on the PS1. It's just there just to be like, hey, look what we did. So that's I'm excited for it. I am. I'll be picking this one up right away.
Hey man, I'm still waiting for someone to make a better game than the Godfather game in 2006.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right? Oh, Sean, yes. See, this is why Sean and I are friends, because we have the exact same taste. You know?
Dude, the Wii version is surprisingly awesome.
The Wii version was so sick
because you could like take the dude and like hold him in the fire with the Wiimote and the nunchuck, like, give me the money. Like, yeah.
You grab him by the collar, you press L and R, you just like slam him into like a wall. You're just doing this, you know? And I feel like, yes, I really feel like a gangster right now.
It's so good.
With the Wii remote and the nunchuck in hand.
Yes. That and Manhunt too are some of my favorite experiences because it actually felt like you were strangling someone.
Yeah. Oh, man. Manhunt 2.
We had Dispatch, creators of Wolf Among Us, Tales from Borderlands. Like a superhero agency. And
it looked kind of interesting.
It's sort of that
Hey, don't skip Infinity Nikki. Come on.
Oh gosh. Okay, Infinity Nikki was there. I'm kidding. I wrote it down because 20 million people have apparently played this game or something crazy.
Someone in here is a big fan.
I love Infinity Nikki. I've yet to play Infinity Nikki. I love the Nikki franchise. I played the mobile game, but that game has been on my list of things to check out. But I'm planning to play it more like in December, like when I'm on break. It is December. Gosh, I'm sorry. I'm tired right now. Oh God, in my head it's still like October. November. Yeah. So like come Christmas time after I sleep, I'm probably gonna play that game and I'll be like Infinite Nikki pilled and be obsessed with it. It's really cute. The world looks beautiful and the reception for the game has been really, really good. I played the demo at PAX West and it was cool. You know, obviously it's like a demo, so there's like bugs or limitations. So I'm very curious to check it out and see what they did with it. And yeah, looks fun.
I installed it last night.
Let me know how you like it.
Yeah, let's run some Infinity Nikki together. Let's go.
Yeah, know, right?
We did have Dispatch, as we had mentioned. It was like almost like the choose your own adventure style game. I assume you're going to play through it multiple times and do all kinds of choices and stuff. Jack, you're interested in this one? Looks like a superhero agency.
Yeah, it looked dope. I thought it was some Invincible stuff at first. I was like, they kind of remind me of like, even with the art style, like the voice acting. But it looked cool. Yeah, it looked cool.
Yeah. So something about seeing the superheroes kind of like out of their element a bit either trying to learn or even being somewhat corrupted, or it's interesting, just see how that plays out with the personalities. And I mean, they have some talent behind it with the voice acting. So
the Laura Bailey and Aaron Paul introduction for that game though was so awkward and weird. It went on for like 3 minutes, and they were just like drunkenly flirting with each other on stage. The whole
Okay,
time.
no, time out. It was really fun to watch that, not because of them, but it was fun to watch the teleprompter that they were reading off of.
Oh,
And all of that was written down.
are you serious?
Yeah, I was like looking at them and I was like, that's weird. And then I look over and I'm like, oh, they're reading it. And I was like going back and forth, like watching it.
It sounds like they hated reading it then, probably. Yeah.
I don't know, but like, it was just funny. I don't know. It's cool to be there when it's live and then see. They give us the lines to say. So I'm not so sure what their input on that was. You can go back to them and like, talk about things, but like, yeah, they write that for you.
Then we went into what people are looking at as one of the biggest announcements here, which was an Okami sequel. And it gets interesting since it seems like Hideki Kamiya has formed the new studio, Clover Studio, and they are working with or at Capcom. That was a little surprising to hear about that, because I didn't think Kamiya would ever really go back to Capcom. But they've teased the idea of a Konami sequel. But it was always, we're at Platinum Games, so Platinum Games and Capcom have to link up. And I be real, after seeing this, I have no idea what's happening at Platinum right now. But I don't know if things are going that great at Platinum currently. That's what I'm thinking. But in this case, you got kind of that, I don't say fan service game, but a game that a lot of people were really excited to see, even though you didn't really see anything. Just Okami sequel, but it's a thing. So I'm really happy to see that actually getting greenlit, because that is one of those projects that I mentioned with Capcom with Onimusha that they wouldn't have been greenlighting unless Monster Hunter did crazy with Monster Hunter World or something, and they're off and running with that in Resident Evil. So I'm curious what they'll be able to do with new technology, considering the one we've all been playing this whole time was on the PS2. So really, really excited about that. And okay, Crimson Desert Pearl Abyss, that's late 2025. And then the closeout, because it wasn't just Okami. We had one more thing, and this is good. Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. This is Naughty Dog's game. It is indeed sci-fi, which I feel like they've kind of alluded to that, mentioned that before. Job listings popped up. We even had the name itself that was covered by Gamatsu earlier this year, just found in trademarks. So we've even known about the name technically. We were just speculating if that was a code name or the actual title. Turns out it was the actual title. But there was some discussion around the game itself with some backstory to where there have been over 250 developers and working on it for the last 4 years as it went into like production in 2020. And they say it's a return to Naughty Dog's roots and action adventure that started the studio's reputation with Crash Bandicoot, which they made an interesting point during the trailer to name a bunch of their older titles as well as newer ones with like Last of Us and stuff. But it's set in an alternate universe where space travel has significantly advanced by 1986, and you play as Jordan Munn. It's a dangerous bounty hunter who ends up stranded on Semperia. It's a distant planet whose communication with the outside universe went dark hundreds of years ago. And they mentioned, well, it's going to be an emotional, character-driven, epic journey. They say it's going to be the deepest gameplay in Naughty Dog's history, taking learnings from previous franchises and pushing them beyond anything they've ever done before. The inspiration they named specifically was Akira and Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
So this is Naughty Dog's new IP that we've heard teased for a while. What are our thoughts on the initial, in-engine trailer? We didn't really see gameplay at all, so that's the thing that they keep pointing to, and it's kind of hard to gauge based on what we see here. But what do we think about their new IP?
Only thing I know about Cowboy Bebop is the meme where it shows Bebop from Bebop and Rocksteady wearing a cowboy hat sitting on a horse, and it's like Cowboy Bebop. I don't know. I don't watch anime. Why were that? Well, I do find it weird how many product advertisements there were in that trailer.
Porsche, Adidas,
Sony.
I mean, yeah, Sony, yeah.
Like that was kind of weird. I don't know.
I think that's the solution to these $300, $400 million games.
Oh, that's a good point.
Like where
Yeah.
movies went when Superman gets thrown into a Pepsi truck specifically.
Yep. It already started with Spider-Man 2 with the Adidas partnership too. You know, Spider-Man 2 cost $330 million. How are they going to pay that back? Well, here's a bunch of skins with Adidas on it. You know?
Spider-Man wearing your Adidas. There you
I never
go.
even thought of that. That's a good point.
Yep, but that's the future of how to pay for these games.
No.
Porsche, the luxury car brand, is now building spaceships in a Naughty Dog game. Yeah, that's how they're funding this game.
You know what gets me about this game when I started reading the backstory around the development timeline? I thought to myself, I said, wow, okay, this game went in development in 2020 with 250 developers and stuff. In that time, we had Concord get announced, Firewalk be purchased, Concord come out, Concord gets shut down, Firewalk gets shut down. All of this technically introduced with Sony's label on it, a retro sci-fi, like 70s, 80s style that kind of already put that vibe out there for people. And then this game comes out and it's within proximity of Concord and what happened there, to where I see people already linking Concord to this game in like comments and stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Plots.
When the trailer opened, I was like, I thought Concord was already dead. That was my first thought.
If this had just gone and there wasn't a Naughty Dog logo or anything, I might have thought they were introducing a new Concord character.
Yeah. I was like, what's happening?
Oh my god.
Jada Pinkett Smith coming to Concord.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing. Retrofuturism is like really, really hot right now for some reason, right? Well, because everyone's watching
everything works in loops. So.
Yeah, because everyone watched Guardians of the Galaxy a couple years ago, and now the games are just coming out. You know,
Sure.
Just like the Game of Thrones game is just coming out now, even though like that ship is already sailed too. You know.
Now, I think this game should do better than Concord. It's Naughty Dog. I also hard to do worse than Concord at this point. But it was something I noticed. I was like, man, if all of that stuff with Concord hadn't gone down and this would have felt a bit more fresh with sort of that style that they were going for, it clearly would have helped a bit more, right? In an alternate timeline where Sony passed on Firewalk and Concord. But from what we're seeing, I mean, the world itself I'm interested in, because Naughty Dog, as we have seen them in the past, have done a ton of great work with narrative, drawing out characters, the storylines and stuff. So that in sci-fi, where they don't have to be as grounded to reality, I'm interested to see what they do with this one. Just the story and everything about it. What do you, Jack? You saw this unfold on stream, I'm sure. What was your thoughts as this was happening and the Naughty Dog logo came up?
Well, at the time, I was pissed off because they just showed Last of Us Part 2 remastered for the how many of time, and I'm like, brother, this can't be what I was reading the Naughty Dog coming to tease. I'm livid at this point, right? So I see this, I'm like, okay, this dude look like Naughty Dog, like the character looked like Naughty Dog, like we doing a live reaction and whatnot. End up being the new IP. I'm stoked personally. My biggest complaint about Sony, my biggest complaint about Naughty Dog specifically. Where are the games, brother? We 4 years into the generation. Where are the guys? I know you canceled Factions 2. I need to see what you're working on. And it's ironic because I don't watch anime either, but I have seen Akira and Cowboy Bebop, which I got them over there. So I have seen both of those. I'm excited, man. And it's funny because Concord, if you look at Concord synopsis and whatnot, they was comparing that to Cowboy Bebop. It was about space bounty hunters, the same shit. And I also want to bring this up. If you look at Sony's IPs from a first party standpoint, 95%, if not more, are all set in space, right? You got Concord, you got Helldivers, you got Returnal, you got Ratchet and Clank, you got Horizon got some space elements, you got Corey Barlog's new game is also supposed to be set in space. You got like, bro, what? Damn, like it ain't nowhere else to explore. Like, why is all these games set in space? I'm not too much of a sci-fi person personally, but I am looking forward to this game. They got Tati Gabriel. I'm a fan of hers. you know I got to be a fan of hers. I enjoy all the stuff I seen her in. They got I seen some of the supporting cast. You know, they got the guy that I think he played Lalo Salamanca in Better Call Saul. So the only problem I got with this game, and I do love the 80s aesthetic. I love the synth music, all that beautiful. Only problem I'm having with this game, I'm cautiously optimistic about. I need to know how many human interactions she's gonna have, encounters, because you already see she's talking to the lady via television, and she don't really have a lot of contact with the outside world. On top of the planet she's going to, apparently nobody has left this planet in like 600 years or something, according to the synopsis. So only thing, because and Naughty Dog is also known for the gory gameplay and just the hyper realistic, and I love that about their game. So I hope you're not just only fighting robots. You know what I mean? I hope you're not only fighting. I hope it's some human interaction. Like other than that, man, I'm definitely looking forward to the game. I can't wait to play it personally.
Jack, I'm really glad that you brought up the fact that there's a possibility that you might not interact with a lot of humans. Because I brought up on Twitter, but I spoke with Neil 2 years ago, and he says the game we're working on right now, I'm taking a lot of ideas from Elden Ring about how to tell environmental storytelling and how to tell a story without other characters speaking to you. So I'm wondering if this game doesn't have a lot of characters, like a Last of Us, where it's just like people coming in and out of the screen and just relating to each other.
Well,
I'm wondering if this is like a closer, like a more solo, lonely adventure with Jordan Munn, and you're just picking up a bunch of shit ton of audio logs to like tell the story of this Asperia world or whatever.
Because on the board she had at the beginning, it was the 5 aces, right? So it feels like you're just going to a planet to fight 5 bosses with a sword made of energy, No More Heroes style. So
Okay. Well, I mean, they say the gameplay is going to be one of the big focuses, one of the biggest things they've done in terms of, I guess, just intricate like elements to it. So we obviously see the melee combat. That's a big one. So that's, to me, that's the thing when you introduce a new IP, it is tough if you don't have extended gameplay or just something to show.
Gameplay, yeah.
If it's a known like franchise and it's like, here's a sequel, here's a prequel, you're kind of like, okay, I get the idea. I understand kind of at least what's going to happen here, but we're still kind of in the dark about a lot of stuff with this game. So, I mean, we're judging it on pre-render scenes of a couple minutes at this point. And maybe that's also part of it, where they want to keep a little bit of mystery and keep you asking questions. But that now is the thing I'm most interested in is kind of the gameplay here.
What does the game look like? How, what does it feel like when I touch it? What is it going to look like when I touch it? Yeah, you make such a great point. Like Onimusha, we already know what Onimusha is, and then they showed some gameplay, so that's why I think Onimusha is actually the best reveal of the show. Because it was a new, exciting, unexpected announcement, and they showed some gameplay. I have an idea of what that game might look like.
I kind of got a feeling it's gonna play like Last of Us 2, if I'm being honest. Because when she just ran up with the combat off top, I'm like, okay, they gon' flesh out this combat system that they introduced in the Last of Us Part 2 with the dodging mechanic. Yeah, so just if I had to assume, I feel like it's gonna just play like an evolved version of Last of Us 2, which I'm not opposed to at all.
I'm not mad at that at all either.
Yeah, I need that.
I love the melee combat in Last of Us Part 2. If you can make that better and make that more robust and interesting, then I'm there day one completely. Tati looks great. She's got a cool jacket. I don't know what everyone's problem with her is. So it's awesome to me.
The first scene where she's cutting, but like with the clippers in her hair, I immediately was thinking of Alien 3 actually when I I was like, it's kind of like that's what I'm thinking. Okay.
No,
I was getting like kind of those vibes of like old sci-fi.
Yeah, G.I. Jane, as Sean said too. Yeah.
Remember how Demi Moore went from, I think she did Striptease and then G.I. Jane, like it was the next one. Y'all ever watch
my wife's name out your fucking mouth?
Bro, Striptease.
So I was like, it's just a G.I. Jane joke. Come on.
That's the thing where I am now. I gotta see more about this one, but I'm interested, and it's nice to finally see Naughty Dog make a move that wasn't just here's a remaster or here's a PC release or here's a cancellation.
I wanted another remaster of Last of Us. I think we need more on the platform. And it should cost $90.
Wait to PS6. They got you. They got you.
Yeah.
I need at least 3 or 4 more before the generation ends.
So, well, what do you think this game's coming out? Actually, lastly for this,
end of the PS5 cycle, man. 2028.
Crossover before PS6.
That hurt.
I was kind of hoping holiday 2026 because they started in 2020. So
okay, wait, maybe 2026, maybe yeah, not next year for sure, but like 2026, late 2026. I'm
gonna be honest. I think best case scenario 2027. I think that's best case scenario. I ain't gonna even lie. I think if they crunch and try to get it out there, maybe the end of 2026 holiday season. But I'm kind of with y'all on this, man.
Yeah, but yeah, right? Because after 4 years, that's all you fucking showed us.
Exactly.
Right.
And you know they was working on factions too. Like we all know what was going on. They wasn't really. This was probably in the development stages, of, concepts or whatnot. Then when they got canceled, they were like, "All right, let's rev up with this." Like they put their head down, started working on this.
Yeah, my conspiracy theory also is that that it did have a tie-in with Concord. I bet because they really wanted the Concord IP to like be a thing, and then it's like, oh yeah, well Jordan can be run into the Letix, the iconic hero of Concord.
It is very like it's like eerily similar to concepts they was going with, bro. Like it had to have been. And then this ain't got no online. That's a games as a service. Perfect match.
I really want to spoil the Concord episode of Secret Level for you guys.
Oh, man.
We'll find out soon, right? Next week.
Yeah, the ending is incredible. Like everyone's gonna be going crazy for it. Let X Nation rise up, exactly.
Well, that was the award show there. I did want to point out though, we did have our Game of the Year winner, which was Astrobot. That's actually what I was expecting. We did click R3 and I was like, I think Astrobot's winning. It's taking it. And it did. So it was good to see. It could have been, at least it beat out the DLC. So I know some people were hoping for Metaphor was up, right? We had Balatro up. We had Black with Wukong, but hey, Astrobot, I'm good with that. I'm happy to see something like that win because it's also. Did you see on stage they were accepting the award and they thanked Nintendo or shouted out Nintendo, but they couldn't say Nintendo's name on stage. They were like, we're trying to explain who we're talking about, but we can't say you notice how I haven't said their name, but they said Super Mario Brothers. So it was a very awkward kind of like, thank you Nintendo for inspiring us to do a 3D platformer like this. But I guess Sony wouldn't like that. So
it's tough, yeah, because when I interviewed Nicholas, he could only say Mario. He could not say Nintendo. He could not say any other like franchise of Nintendo. But he can acknowledge that Mario is obviously because we're not fucking blind or dumb, Like
Sony walks out of the audience, keep Nintendo at your motherfucking.
Them lawyers come out. The audience.
That's why Ken Kutaragi was so up close so he could slap Nicholas Toussey,
Is this
because
true?
Part on stage.
What?
Somebody else. Well, somebody then the fake DSP said that he did fart.
What?
No, that was just Jeff blew the air up. Is like, come back out, man. You know how it go, dog. Come on, y'all.
I don't know. Sean about to go back and listen to that audio. About to turn that up 10 decibels. That's gonna be a crazy Catley video. You got Kojima and AI generated games.
Oh my god.
Are you not gonna mention fucking Celia being at the show presenting an award?
Yeah, John. Just kidding.
Except, boom!
Ta-da!
Look at that.
Oh, there's me.
Celia
We're
was
up
there.
there.
She presented, and she didn't mess up.
Thank you. Yeah, I practiced
You expect
at
her
home.
to? Like,
Yeah, wait,
no,
hold on here. Yeah, Sean has a
It's
point.
just it's that moment where you go up there and hey, you find out how people do. When the cameras. Look at that. Celia handled it like a professional, and
Yeah.
it went really well.
Fun fact, in college, I was a theater major. So I'm no stranger to talking in front of crowds or like performing on stage. So
That's
yeah,
why
it
you.
was,
That's why you didn't need a rehearsal. That makes sense.
well, yeah, it was like 4 lines. So it like wasn't too much of a problem. But like before we were off book. So like I had my lines memorized. So in case there was a teleprompter issue, which happens all the time at the Game Awards. So like when Harrison Ford was like that to the teleprompter, and I think the girl that sat behind me, she was in The Last of Us, the TV show. She was behind me, and she during her segment, I think the teleprompter messed up as well. So I was kind of expecting it to happen because it's just kind of a fact of life with a live show. So yeah, it was easy though. It was fun.
did you fart on stage?
No, I didn't. But thanks for that question. Like,
problem.
looking out.
That's what I was. Well, the teleprompter thing is what I was thinking. I was like, watch Celia go up there and the teleprompter go like crazy. But
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
my plan
backup
B ready.
okay, hey, that's it. Celia's a professional.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only 4 lines, but like, remember that streamer that was trying to do some EA presentation, and he tried to like cut to like something, and he just like completely his brain just like fucking farted on stage.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm forgetting what he said, but it was just like a complete disaster where like he was just like saying like nonsense for a bit, and it's like, yeah, he's a streamer, he's a performer, but he's not a professional like Celia is, you know.
Okay. The only thing that we did like almost oopsie on was that after you announce like the initial like little talkie bits and before you say in the game award goes to, you have to move downstage to be in the center so the winner can walk up the steps and be right there. Sean and I like just stood there, and then like a PA had to run out and was like, you have to move to the center, and we were like, oh no. So that's why when it cuts camera, we're like kind of fidgeting a little bit. It's because we just got there as the camera turned on. It was cool though. It was really funny.
Let me go over some of the super chats here. We have Pickle Rick says, hey guys, love the content y'all keep posting. My wife says hi RGT, and she loves the Art of Wrestling book.
Thank you. That's Art of N64 Wrestling book, but learn how to read.
look at it. Jack says, been a member for 3 years. Time flies. Thought the show last night was great. Love seeing Celia there, and Belatro's theme at the end was amazing.
It was so cool to hear the orchestrated Belatro theme.
The guitar, man.
Yeah, that guitar. He was just fucking ripping on that shit. I was like, yeah, dude, I wish the whole song was just that, you know.
Blake says, awesome seeing Celia at the Game Awards. Do you think PlayStation is changing announcement strategies by giving the Game Awards a Naughty Dog trailer and Helldivers 2 DLC?
That's a very good question. I think that like with like these types of activations is just kind of seeing what the timing and what the most eyeballs would be for that. And maybe what they're planning for their own presentation could be, I don't know, like more information about that. Or it just kind of depends on like, because they have their set schedule of when they want to do things. I think it's cool not that, like keeping everything exclusive to just their own showcases, like having things spread around more helps get rid of fatigue, especially if there's games that they might be coming out with that are similar. So I think that's cool. We'll see them.
Gravy says, what's worse, live service Ben game or live service Turok Origins?
Well, supposedly Origins isn't live service. Supposedly.
Okay. So it's gonna be more like arcade, like shooter, make rooms and just take each other. Okay. Yeah. We'll see. RDX says, I fear tariffs will wreak havoc on gaming industry. We'll see. I don't think no one really knows what effect it's gonna have until it does. So
yeah. We'll find out, but unfortunately, I hope it doesn't because that would really suck.
Oh, yeah. Things get more expensive. Jazzy Jefferson says, shout out to good brother Jack Moon being on today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Salute.
Let's see. This is from Darkland22 says, RGT, what's the move? Weekend at Bernie's 1 or 2? Or Sergeant
Kabuki Man
NYPD. We're deep in Sonic City, but need a flick to match the Sega madness.
You gotta go a Weekend at Bernie's. I would go at 1. You know, it's a classic.
Yeah, but Sega Madness. I feel like Sergeant Kabuki Man. It's closer to that.
I guess it depends what you're looking for, though. They're kind of different movies.
Lewis is here and make things awkward, saying, "Yo, Jack, that's Celia, the presenter you said looked beautiful on your stream."
I did say that. I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't want to be no window, man. I was like, "Hey, who is this, man?" Okay. She got it going on right now.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. That's so funny. Calling you out, man.
That's crazy. So they do me.
Come on, Lewis.
Rufflemutt says, "I'm tired of early announcements. Okami sequel, really? I'm happy to hear about Okami sequel."
Okami is okay, but I am tired of early announcements too. I'm just tired of the hype. You know, I don't want to hear about Cyberpunk and then wait 8 years for it. You know,
hey, they didn't even bring up Everwild, Rare's new game. Jeez.
Rufflemutt says,
Everwild is never being re-announced ever again. Yeah,
no, again. Celia, persuade Jeff to make Sean a presenter.
Interesting. I feel like you just immediately blocked my number.
There's a video of Kojima farting at the Game Awards. It has 60,000 views.
No.
Oh my fucking god.
Can we play it? I want to see it.
Yeah, is it aggressive? Like what?
Yeah. What kind of part?
Is it real?
Oh yeah. You can hear it. It's a little toot. I'll
Really?
put it.
Sean's
that's
playing that in this
crazy.
video. Oh my
That's
gosh.
crazy.
It's gonna be his new notification sound.
So
Jeff says Jeff says weapon wheel, last stand, and Spawncast are my
Hey.
3 favorite podcast networks. Keep it real. Thanks for the entertainment. Shout out to Jeff.
Appreciate that.
Got to give a shout out to Fransby, who may be Todd Howard again, gifted 50 Spawn Wave memberships. That is quite generous. And Todd Howard has a lot of memes around him now because he stood on stage yesterday. But hey, shout out to Fransby or Todd Howard. Again, we'll find out eventually. And Fransby once again said, "I brought you Harrison Ford to the big stage. Don't ask for Elder Scrolls." Cool Rip says, "Celia, you look beautiful, by the way. Where was Mina, though? I thought you guys were going to say something, at least a little."
No, there's nothing promised for the Game Awards. But it would have been really cool. But when we're ready to announce more things, we'll be sure to make a lot of noise about it. But
Hey,
thank you for the compliment.
whenever they're ready to move, Celia's gonna mention Mina on here every time. I guarantee.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be shilling that. You'll be like, Celia, stop talking about Mina, and I'll be like, no. It'll be great.
Just send us some key art. We can bring it up as you want to talk about it. It'll be fun.
I'll just keep the Mina plush in the background to remind people.
Chaos says Obsidian Series is gonna be busy this year. They will. GeForce Guy says so many amazing trailers, but the real highlight, Celia 100%, and she loves N64 too. What else do you need? Huge fan.
Thank you.
Let's see. Outlaw Farmer says, off topic, you East Coast boys see any of the drone swarms in the night sky? What do you think of it? Some have been spotted now as south as Maryland. Yeah, I got to go see if I can find any this weekend. But
the fact that the government is downplaying this shit should tell you everything you need to know. Why in the fuck are these drones flying around? Some of them are fucking huge if you watch the videos, and you're not shooting these motherfuckers down. But no, it's just an isolated thing. Nothing's really happening.
God.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
fire up the paranormal stream.
Do
song.
not piss on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Hey, people want that paranormal stream. Fire it up. Talk about drones.
Oh, I don't even necessarily think it's paranormal. I think it's
Fire up the conspiracy stream. People want that. Hey, they're coming here now apparently. So keep an eye out.
I hope they come to your house.
I do too. I have. You mean cameras? I have.
Yeah.
Do you what kind? You really want to come to my house, Sean? You know what kind of viral video that'd be?
Well, you remember in Independence Day where they visit the White House? I'm hoping for something like that when they come to visit your house.
I'll have the telephoto lens. We'll see the end of days on my YouTube channel. Apparently, he says 901 901 901. Salutes from Binghamton.
Binghamton. Yeah, that's some Memphis. That's some Memphis shit. Hey, salute.
Got it. RDX says anti-DEI is a dog whistle for racist and sexist. Well. The cool guy says, are you guys live again? Also, so much stuff packed within 4 hours, and trash talking those Muppets were funny, but overall, it was an okay show for me. And the Muppets, I think, balanced that well. They used them well, I would say, to where they basically just read stuff off Twitter and came up with jokes with it. So that was fun. Jorge says, watch Sakurai get Tifa in Smash before Harada does for Tekken.
Hell yeah.
This is from the cool guy again. Says, by the way, hello to everyone here, and I'm glad to see you all here online again, fam. It kind of felt a lot of games were the same, but this is cool to see you all. Let's see. Nerd Crave says Naughty Dog might convince me to buy a PS5. That's their job. SP Scarecrow says, shout outs to my guy Jack Move. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
Mucus Man gifted 1 Spawnwave membership. Shout out to Mucus Man. Andy Ackerman says, I'm late. Good to see you yesterday. See Team Evan today.
C as in Celia.
C. Oh, good C. C. Team Evan. They're Team Evan.
Good to see you yesterday, C. Pause.
Good to see you yesterday,
end of
C.
the sentence.
Good to see you yesterday,
Evan
C.
today.
Team Evan. Pause. Today.
If you knew how many times I had to cut together things, Sean, for news waves where it's like the mispronunciations.
Fucking robot over here.
Man.
Oh, leave alone.
Spyro Jones says, good announcements. Astrobot Game of the Year. Muppets roasting Jeff. Really solid Game Awards. I do wish Animal won something just to hear a donkey speech.
Mm-hmm.
Varang says Kojima did fart. Loved Astrobot. Excited for some of the games.
And we met Varang.
Yeah, we met
Obviously,
Varang.
this
He's
is
valid.
truthful.
Varang is valid.
Hey, there
Oh,
it
that's
is.
cool. Okay.
Yeah, Ryan came out and saw us at too many games, so that's
He found us. He found us at the after party. My
You can
screams were
find
heard
us.
throughout
Cool.
the night.
Orange says, since from the era of remakes and nostalgia, we need a new Sly Cooper and Power Stone.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You get Power Stone with
Slide.
that Capcom collection that's coming out.
And Sly 2 and 3 are now on PlayStation Plus Premium, or you can just buy them out of cart for like $10.
Oh, sweet.
Rufflemutt says Nintendo to release the ninjas towards D-Brand. Yeah, D-Brand is on some stuff right now. they do that a lot though. It's part of their MO. Chris Smith says, what do you guys think of the Virtual Fighter Direct? And they had a Sally Prince interviewed. Well, Sean watched the Direct, right, Sean?
I don't give a fuck, Prince of Narnia. If he's
No, I
giving
mean,
me
like-
Virtual Fighter, salute. Like, thank you, my brother. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum musalam. Like, fuck.
Well,
The beta's up. The beta's up. I did just play it. It's pretty good.
oh, you did play. Oh, you were playing
I
Virtual Fighter.
downloaded it while we were doing this.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty. I can't show. The first thing it says is "Do not show this on stream." So I was like,
Oh well. Okay. Don't do that. We're going to. Let me see. I'm gonna. Oh wait. You have some mailbag questions. I'm gonna say some actually for Direct Xbox tonight as well. Since we'll be doing that stream in like an hour and a half. Kale says, huge shout out to Celia. It was awesome to see Spawncast representation at TGA. Can we expect RGT to announce the winner of Coziest Game next year? Hey,
You never know.
Never say never.
Never say
Jeff
never.
wants the ratings. He'll make it happen. This is, Bloody says, am I the only one who thinks that Naughty Dog's new game looks like a single player campaign of some random Concord character? I'm telling you that vibe, just bad timing for that with Concord now.
Bad timing, but you know what? The single player Concord campaign probably would have been a much better game. You know.
David says, do you think the Astro taking Game of the Year will convince PlayStation to support more single player franchises, or ultimately is it the sales and revenue that games as a service games have and single players don't that will influence game development?
Sony cares about awards.
I mean, look at Days
They
Gone.
like money too, though. They like money too, though.
They like money more.
Yeah.
But like,
They
look
do.
at Days Gone. Like Jack was talking about earlier. That game sold like fucking crazy, but it got, the reviews were not there for it.
That's the thing. Yeah.
It's a balance. It's a balance, I think.
Yeah. God of War is their perfect like ideal. Selling 20 million and also like winning Game of the Year awards. But yeah, Days Gone sold well, but they threw it under the bus. Astrobot won, so they're gonna center that. I believe they're gonna center Astrobot a lot more now. So, but I hope it's a lesson. People want fun games. Just make a good game, for fuck's sake.
Larvey says, what studio do you think has the highest output of quantity and quality? They say RGG is up there.
Yep.
I'm going to say FromSoft right now. I mean, FromSoft's dropping stuff a lot, even though they, like you said, Gene, they're reusing assets a lot. They're dropping stuff quite a bit.
Well, hey, RGG is a king of reusing assets. Did you guys know that there's the blood splatter in the Animal Crossing game in Infinite Wealth is the same texture as the blood splatter of the mafia boss that gets killed and that starts the whole Yakuza series off in Yakuza 1? It's the same texture.
Hey,
Yeah,
if it's there, you got it in the little clip art folder, you might as well use it.
Yep.
Might as
They're
well.
using the same texture from 2000, whatever.
Fuck it.
It's all the same animations too. When they go, whatever like that. It's the same animations. The same sets.
Dr. Strangelove, thank you.
What does that say? You got to read it.
Jeff
He
was
gave you
sad he
$2.
couldn't spell Kojima's part.
Ah.
Thank you. Okay. Let me go around here. I'm going to save some of the mailbag questions for Direct Xbox. We'll have Nate on. I'll talk to him about some stuff too. We'll read those out there as well. But let me go around here as we finish up. I'm going to start with our guest here, Jack Move Johnny. Where can everyone find you, sir?
YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, PSN, Jack Move Johnny. Check me out. I live stream a lot. Horrible live streams, by the way. But if you like subpar content, hey, I'm your guy, man. I'm your guy. Weapon Wheel Podcast too. Weapon Wheel Podcast.
Some of the funniest fucking live streams, and when he's on Weapon Wheel, it's the best. It's the best. I love Weapon Wheel more than I love this show.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Weapon Wheel is Sunday night. You check
Yes,
that out. Well, Sunday night,
sir.
evening, afternoon, yeah, right in there. So, Andy Ackerman says Days Gone also released with several game-breaking bugs. It did. It had some technical issues early on. They had to patch out.
It did, but I mean, so did Cyberpunk. So
Gene, where can everyone find you, sir?
I'm just Gene Park everywhere on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on Twitch, where I streamed the Game Awards last night, and at the Washington Post. And a lot of people ask me how they can support me. If you subscribe to the Washington Post on one of my byline articles, I get credit, and I actually got a raise just this week actually for that.
Yeah.
Because people actually, some of y'all are actually subscribing to the Washington Post just to read my shit, and the management recognized that, and they're like, "Here you go. Here's a couple $1,000s more." So
Fuck yeah.
Salute.
so and it's working.
It's working. Jeans has you got a good interview coming up here soon anyway, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I'm going to be interviewing. I interviewed Ben Schwartz, the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog.
So cool.
That's going to be an interesting conversation because we talked a lot about death. What happens after
As
death?
one
What
does.
happens after you die? Whether we think there's an afterlife?
That to change Celia immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I wonder what silly things you guys are going to discuss because he's so funny. He's like one of my favorite comedic actors.
He's
And
such
I'm
a
like,
funny
oh.
guy, but then
Like
we
you
got
eternal darkness after your eyes close when you die. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
whoa, okay.
that's
What happens
literally
when
what we
there's no
talked
rings
about.
to protect you from damage?
My article is going to be talking about death with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm going to be interviewing the Sega president too. Lots of stuff to talk about. RGG, Atlas, this new resurgence of Sega. So really, I'm the guy who broke the story about Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi coming out. So we'll see what he has got for me soon. So check out my interview on mouthwashing. It's pinned on my Twitter profile. If you played mouthwashing, this is the article you need to read because it breaks down the themes. Have any of you guys played mouthwashing?
Watch
I
most
haven't.
of the playthrough of it.
I've seen it kind of mentioned here and there, but I haven't like played it or anything. People say it was good.
It is. If it wasn't for Metaphor, it would have been my game of the year.
Oh, interesting. How long? It's not long, right?
3
It's a short
hours.
game.
It's a 3-hour game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
First
3
person.
hour
That's on
game.
Steam?
It's only on Steam. The writing is so good that I almost wanted to put it over Metaphor, but Metaphor is a good game, so that's why I still left Metaphor there. But
Okay.
mouthwashing, incredible story.
Celia, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Celia B with 3 E's. You also can find me on Game and Talk. We chat on Wednesdays. It's me, Sean, Josie, and Nate. And then other things to plug. So I know that I was just on the Game Awards, but I'm going to be in another award show for the Indie Game Awards, and Mouthwashing is actually nominated. So I've been going through a bunch of different indie games, and before the showcase starts. So Mouthwashing is next on my list, and I'm really excited to check it out because I've heard really, really great things. And that's on December 19th. And then another thing that's coming up is the Shovel Knight concert. There's 2 showings and only 2 showings, and that's it. And one's in New York and one's in LA. Check out shovelknightconcert.com for more info. Okay, that's my plugs. Thanks, guys.
Text me when you play mouthwashing. I want to know what you think.
Yeah, I'll give you my live react.
Yeah.
Bet Evan.
Socials, YouTube at Kimmerix Project. Finally broke 8K with the channel.
wow.
So still working on some more videos for it. Still trying to figure out how to churn more videos out a little bit faster. So if you're into tabletop stuff, strategy and all that, we usually stream or do stuff over there for that.
All right. Path to 10K. It's on. Okay.
Yep.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Then what about Sean?
You can find me on RGT85. This game is kind of neat. This
No, yeah,
mouthwashing.
it's pretty good, and it's got some crazy stuff that happens in it, which don't really want to spoil. So
Yep.
I like the
Don't wanna spoil it.
description.
Nope.
It says extreme violence, gore, mutilation, and worse on PlayStation 1 style characters. It's right
Yeah.
up my alley.
That's it. It is a fucked up game, so go play it.
Is it Steam Deck or verified?
Steam Deck verified.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There you
Runs
go.
completely.
It looks like
smooth.
it could run on a toaster. It's definitely good on a Steam.
It'll
Yeah,
run on a toaster, no problem. It'll run great.
Okay.
So great.
Can't
I'm
leave
spreading
it
the
tomorrow,
word of
Sean.
mouthwashing. Hell yeah.
So, all right, cool.
and
Yeah,
then,
check
and then
it
you'll
out.
be exposed to the fandom, which is insane. But that's another story.
Negative, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
there.
heard about
Toss your
that.
opinion in with the fandom. It'd be great.
Exactly.
Sounds
well,
dangerous.
Exactly. Thanks everyone for tuning in though. Appreciate it. Thanks to the guests joining us, Gene, Jack Move Johnny. Make sure you guys check them out. They are linked down below in the description. And we'll be back next weekend, next Friday night, I guess, to live stream, because it's been a bit easier to get these out there that way. And I mean, we're already recording anyway, so it's pretty straightforward. But until then, we'll direct. I'm gonna get Nate on stream for a bit tonight, and we'll answer some more questions and stuff. But we'll catch you guys next weekend, next Friday night even, and we'll see you guys then.
Kojima farted.